Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan.
Real quick, our Father's Day bundle is up on the site right now. Go to tomanddan.com.
Father's Day bundle. I hate the word bundle.
Yeah,
Why?
me too.
It's overused.
Package.
And I blame the gaming systems that came out. Xbox, PlayStation, I'm looking at you. You effed out the word bundle for me because everything became a bundle. Super Mario bundle, Call of Duty bundle, Super Mario Odyssey bundle. Oh, look, it's the Red Dead Redemption bundle. I'm over the bundles.
Also, didn't cable companies F that word out?
Yeah, bundle it all in.
Bundle.
You know what? A word I want to pivot to? Trundle.
Is that a word?
I don't know, but I like it better.
Bundle trundle.
Yeah.
Don't.
I asked
think you can say
asked
that.
my wife this morning because it's my birthday week to bundle my trundle, and she did.
Yeah.
She
What
did
does that mean?
She did. I got a Wednesday trundle this morning.
all
Yeah,
right.
you know, and
Oh.
our guest knows
Fish!
because I heard him
What?
laugh. No fish.
Oh.
Because let's just say it's the Red Sea right
No.
now. But
Trundle is an act of moving slowly or heavily.
wow,
Oh.
that's what I got.
The slow heavy.
I got the slow heavy trundle.
Oh man.
It was almost too heavy.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're killing me. You're trundling me. Stop.
Sorry, Dizzle Phunk. With us today, and this gentleman, he was the DJ for our beer fest.
Yes.
Last November, which seems like a different universe.
Remember
at this
when
point.
we did that? Remember when we did stuff like that?
Yeah, remember we all got together and talked to each other and hugged and high five. I'm wiping my face. I'm loud spit talking in your face.
Yeah. Remember when we'd go
I
outside?
spit on a
and-
lot of listeners.
Yeah, and they'd spit on us. It was it was the way we did business.
Yeah. So that it'll get back there. I'll get back to spitting on you.
I don't think so. I think the spitting ship has sailed.
But DJ Dizzle Phunk is with us. How you doing, man?
What's up, fellas? All is well here. Thanks for having me.
No problem. And tell us about you put together an Orlando hip hop mixtape.
Yeah, it's a compilation, and the coolest thing is it comes. By the way, I'm always looking for Orlando hip hop because local hip hop is the hardest thing when we play music on the Friday Free Show. It's one of the hardest things to traditionally track down. I can get a lot of dad garage band, a lot of dad band. Hey, we play at Froggers, or we play in my garage, and or I was in a band. Yeah, I get all that stuff, but I never get more than just maybe I'd say 5 songs a year. Maybe.
Yeah, local hip hop.
Of local hip hop. And anybody that listens to our show on Fridays knows that we all here like hip hop. So I'm pretty stoked. So you put together this Orlando's own hip hop compilation. How did it come together?
Good, man. All these cats that I've been that are featured on the mixtape I've worked with for years, at least a decade, and I performed with them, made tracks with them. So they're all grateful and ready to get down. So it was really quite easy to put together. It didn't take long at all.
Nice.
And every artist is from Central Florida or from Florida? Is it like all local?
Yeah, how did you decide?
Yeah. So I wanted to do a series of mixtapes with like producers as one, rock bands as one, and I wanted to start it out with the hip hop. And so everybody, minus like 2 or 3 artists, are from Orlando. Everybody else is from Tampa or Clearwater or something like that.
Yeah. Same thing.
So,
Same thing.
Yeah, we encompass everything. I like to think that we're a little better than Tampa.
So
I agree.
Yeah.
is it like going back to like what Daniel was talking about as far as like harder to find local hip hop artists? I'm not familiar with the.
I bet you if you know where to look, it's not that hard.
Yeah.
But if you're just scraping Bandcamp, or if you're just throwing it on into Twitter or the universe,
Check out Steezy's Trap House podcast.
There you go.
Yeah,
Tons of
Steezy
local
has
hip hop.
a lot of stuff on there.
But is it harder for like local hip hop artists to get gigs? I don't know this at all. Because
I see what you're saying. So like Froggers can have the dad band that can throw in some covers, but are you going to have a hip hop artist because
you'd have to have it at a traditional like probably club, and then I imagine there's less hip hop clubs as far as the volume
I
to
think
be
that's
able to
fair.
get the gigs.
I think that's fair,
As
yeah.
opposed to like you want to book a live band. There's a lot of different venues that have live music, but not necessarily. They want to book a live band, not necessarily like a hip hop artist.
Like Dizzle Phunk, is that pretty accurate?
Yeah, man. The hip hop scene is really weird. You have like a handful of artists that are awesome, and they're going to take their show on the road and come back and play like the Social or the Beecham. But a lot of these guys, they'll just show up for 10 minutes, play their stuff, and then bounce out. So it's really hard to kind of base a show around these guys. It's like a whole different culture. It's like Jay-Z showing up to the strip club for 20 minutes and then being out. Like, they like doing that kind of thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, like, also it's
shorter, like, appearances.
But I will say I would be completely into a place that I could go to have a couple drinks. And I know this exists. I don't know about where it exists here. But if I could get, like, some good, like, jazzy, like, boom bap, and then guy comes up there and raps over it, almost like a jam session where you've got, like, this like, almost this hip-hop jazz kind of a thing going. Oh, I'd be all over that.
So, Dizzle Phunk, because I'm always interested in, like, the business side and the marketing side of everything. And so throughout the time that we've interviewed a lot of bands and like I've kind of got a general idea of how they kind of market themselves, and like it seems like you form a band, you first get all your songs together, then you go on tour, and then you try to book yourself in clubs and venues and stuff.
Yeah.
You spread the word, and then try to get something viral going on the internet now. But mostly it's internet nowadays to try to like expose yourself. It's a lot easier than traveling around the country. But back in the day, it seemed like hip hop artists would do a lot of like how we met D-Rug, just hand out your mixtape or hand out your stuff.
Dude, I miss that.
Yeah, like
I can't walk through Latitudes and have a local hip hop artist put an MP3 in my pocket.
Yeah.
But we hit a sweet spot, Dizzle Phunk. We hit a sweet spot where you could walk downtown and have a lot of really cool, talented hip hop artists just throw you, or maybe you throw them $5 and they'd give you their latest CD. I mean, I miss that a lot.
So now I imagine a lot of people are promoting themselves on social media, online, and stuff like that. But with that, it's probably flooded with a million different hip hop artists, like and like producers and stuff, putting up beats and rapping like so much so that it's almost hard.
God, it almost be better
impossible to filter out the good ones and find some quality stuff.
Yeah, how do you discover what is? How do you read through the noise? I guess.
Yeah.
Man, I guess it's just. You got to read through it. You got to really be dedicated. If you want to find something good, you got to feed through all that bullshit, all the nonsense, because there is a lot of crap out there and it's very oversaturated. A lot of the stuff right now is all that trappy. I'm not going to say it's crap, but it all sounds the same beat, same kind of lyrics. And that seems to be what's out there. But what's cool about Orlando is we have a lot of the old school hip hop cats that incorporate the new stuff. So we're kind of like in a transition phase, we're kind of getting away from the mainstream kind of poppy rap and getting back to our roots. It's just that nobody is doing the mixtapes on the streets anymore. That phase is past. Nobody, like a lot of people don't want it. I don't want your CD. We're not even playing CDs. So to go out there and be like, yo, listen to my stuff, like, okay, sure. And then people walk away.
Yeah, I don't even have a CD player.
It was funny because I went on that whole rant about how I missed that. And I might miss it, but there'd be no way for me to integrate back into it because, like you said, I don't have a CD player.
My truck maybe has a CD player. I don't even know.
No, I had to.
I couldn't tell you.
A lot of people don't know this, and we'll talk about it some other time, but Butler's wife put out a harp CD when she was like 12 years old. Like she's an accomplished classical harpist, and he gave me the CD that she released when she was 12, and I had to burn it from a computer into MP3 to put it on my iPad. It's really good, and it's you know what? I might have to toss it to Dizzle because it's got some really good samples on it. Like really, really good harp samples.
So, Dizzle Phunk, let's talk about like how this current environment has affected you. I mean, obviously being a DJ and there being no events or gatherings or any place to for you to entertain.
I've popped into some DJs doing virtual sets, but how does that feel when you're on your end of doing a remote set for people that really you can't even read the crowd, right?
Yeah, man, it's boring. I don't, it's like playing to yourself. There's a lot, you can tell the difference between, I'm going to say, real DJs and bedroom DJs, because a real DJ will do a virtual set for about an hour and then call it quits. You can only play to yourself for so long. But then you have these bedroom DJs who will go all day just because they're having a good time. And it's almost like, I was thinking, do I want to do this? Do I want to set up the whole podcast? Is that what we're going to? Do I want to invest into that?
Right.
Or do I wait it out to play shows? So it's kind of a weird thing. I think it was a real big fad. Everybody and their mother was live streaming every other day. And it kind of got boring. I didn't like watching people do that stuff. It's just boring to watch them sit there and push buttons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You want to experience it. Like, you kind of want to
to
be there. I've put it on in the background, but, he's right.
Put it on the background and do your thing. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but there is a disconnect there. It's not anywhere close to being the same.
So what have you done in these past couple months and 3 months or God, it's been more than that.
4 months.
And then even like when do you foresee getting back and playing some shows and DJing? Like, do you have any idea of time frame wise when that could happen?
Yeah, man, I'm hoping this Friday I'll be back out at the Grape and Grain, but I'm not holding my breath. Everybody's watching the curfew, the 50% capacity, so it's really on edge right now. A lot of places, they're getting ready to do restaurant service stuff. They were planning on not having music, so it's like they transitioned to one thing and now they're allowed to go back, so it's almost another waiting game for doing live stuff.
Gotcha.
But in the meantime, the past couple months I did a few live streams, did some mixes, worked on this mixtape, kept busy with the band. So, I always kept my brain occupied.
Yeah, you guys are on the compilation, right?
Yep, we're on there, UFO.
I will be playing you on Friday then, because I was going to play you a while back when we were getting things planned, and it's weird because I have a complete and utter disconnect of even time or even when the last event or what we did or what we're going to do.
Yeah, no, I know.
Like, I don't even know where I'm at right now.
Well, it's all just on pause and we're just waiting to see. But Dizzle Phunk, I got a question for you. We've talked a lot about DJ Khaled, and we're trying to decipher because we don't want to go the easy route and be like, what does he do? He does nothing.
I think Dizzle knows your extreme, weird, obsessed hatred for DJ Khaled.
I don't hate him, but I just...
You do hate him.
He's not that great of a person.
Sam, he brings him up once every month. He brings him up, and I can just see the hate in your eyes.
Well, regardless of a good person or not, I just I'm trying to just understand more of why these...
He doesn't like trundling his wife, I'll tell you
correct.
that. I heard
That's
that.
one thing he doesn't do.
Well, there's no trundling there.
And I know there's like the whole bringing people together, and he knows what will be popular, and he's like, producing the beats.
He's more like a maestro.
Yeah. I don't like that.
You're going to do that. I'm the grand conductor.
I don't like that.
I'm the grand conductor. I point at people and tell them what to say. Are you trying to get me mad now?
That's what he kind of is.
You're trying to get me mad now.
Dizzle Phunk, just because you're a DJ, you probably have a better understanding.
Well, he did
Can
it.
you explain to me?
I'm guessing he hand-selected Dizzle Phunk. Did you hand-select the songs on the compilation?
No, I had the artists give me what they wanted.
Okay. Yeah. See, that's the difference between, he actually lets them have some creative input.
Yeah. So do you understand more, or can you shed some light about what DJ Khaled does to justify all these great artists letting him just scream over his track? Because
by the way, I've tried that on our podcast. I screamed "We the best," and I did it for like 3 months, and nothing happened. In fact, we lost
the horn sample. You got to have a horn sample. That
we lost listeners
because when he brought all these great hip-hop artists onto SNL, and then he's just out there fat screaming we're the best. I'm like, shut up, get him out of here. I just want to hear the great artists. You're ruining it. You're actually annoying the S out of me and ruining this performance. But I understand he's the one that brought them all there, so he wants to scream we the best, but I'm like, you're ruining it. Get out of here, fatso.
Okay, there's
he just lost a bunch of weight.
I don't care.
I'm sorry, Dizzle Phunk. I'm sorry. Tom going on one of his traditional.
First of all, that's where I'm trying to get.
Uh-oh. Hold on.
TV.
Oh, there he is.
Okay.
All right, we
Oh,
lost
my
you for a second.
Yeah,
go
go ahead.
say it again.
You got. First of all, that's where I'm trying to get with my career. Just yell at people and jiggle my skinny white ass back.
Listen, I mean, good for him for doing that and making as much money and being as popular as he is. It's killing me not understanding what it is. Like, what is it? Please.
He's kind of like the maestro, like you were saying. He just has those connects. He's probably got the studio. He probably pays these people to come in and be like, yo, I'm going to give you this money to be on this album, but it's going to be under my name. So I'm sure he's more a businessman than anything, taking his cut, his percentages for playing the middleman.
Kind of like a business idea you have right now, Tom.
We'll
talk about that off air.
We were just talking about this in the office this morning. You and I forget who we were talking about, but we were trying to figure out how certain people acquire the level of influence and power.
It was Epstein.
Yeah.
Like, anyway,
I wasn't going to compare, that's why I didn't say it. No. But we were trying to figure out, like, the source. Like, how do you get
because he's a con man. He was a con man.
Con man, right. Is DJ Khaled, to some degree...
Just he's really good. Not a con man per se, but just good at fast talking, like influencing
like
people.
All of your Miami friends, they come up here. All they got to do to get me on their side is bring me a bottle of whiskey, show me their Rolex, and I love them.
I'm like, why are the best hip hop artists in the world just like it's seemingly they can do this themselves without this fatso screaming, "We the best!" You're like, if I was like Meek Mill or whatever, I would just be like, I'm better than you. I don't need you screaming, "Get out of here!" Like, I'll just do it with some other, like, I'm one of the best in the world. Like, who needs this guy?
Dizzle Phunk. Tom told me his favorite rapper was Whale.
Listen, I'm a dumb white dad. I don't know nothing. I understand.
He loves Whale.
I like to see, I'm like, just let me understand, like, oh, okay, that's what it is. That's your talent. That's it. And I just haven't figured out with old Khaled yet.
I just think he figured out how to stamp his name to make money on it. Like, as soon as you put Khaled on that track, it's going to sell. So I think a lot of these artists are like, how can I sell this track real quick? Put Khaled on it.
Yeah, it's no different than like
so should I blame the
little bit of both,
that just like, oh, DJ Khaled, that means it's good? Why?
Well, but on the end, it's because good is objective. Think about it like from this perspective. Khaled can be on their record and you can say, quote, it's good. But for me, if you're looking for a recent hip-hop release that came out that to me is setting the world on fire, you'd go like RTJ4, Run the Jewels. Yeah. They're not going to have Khaled on their track.
Yeah.
Because they're a completely different style of like thought-provoking, passionate, social conscious rap.
Yeah, and they're like, we don't want this fatso screaming over
Correct.
our music.
Correct. Yes,
like, that's what I'm mad about.
I'm sure that's exactly what they
said.
say.
If he was behind the scenes, I'll be fine with it. It'd be like, oh, this guy's just a really, like,
Well, he's a narcissist.
I know. That's what makes me mad about it. It's like Dr. Dre, like, you brought in Eminem. Yes, he's done, tracks.
But Dre can spit.
Yeah, you rap.
He's not the best, but you throw Dre on the track, he's going to do an excellent Dre job.
But there's also he's like, I'm a really good producer, and I'll produce the beats, and I'll put them together. Yes, great. I get that. Dr. Dre,
Dizzle,
you're the man.
Let me ask Dizzle a question.
Fatso, I don't like you.
Dizzle Phunk, do you believe that Tom would feel better if he could see Fatso hitting the buttons on like the sampler or working the faders or like putting a record in and pulling a sample and then using his keyboard to MIDI it in? Like, would you feel better, Dizzle? Is that what Tom needs?
I want Tom to come on my next mixtape and just yell.
All right.
I
can make that happen.
The fatso is in Florida. I got to get fat again.
So Dizzle's answer to this is to make you the DJ Khaled, so then you'll understand.
Yeah.
You're a wise man, Dizzle Phunk. I like what he did there.
I just pretend. I don't know much, man.
Yeah.
I like that.
I want to be that, but believe me, I'm just hating on it because I like.
Well, there's a lot to hate there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not.
Sorry,
I've never met anybody that's ever honestly told me they enjoy that aspect of the song. Like, I've never had somebody pull me aside and be like, you know what would have made this is great. Now, I just heard Walking in the Snow by Run the Jewels. It's probably one of the most powerful hip-hop songs I have ever heard in my life. What would have made it more powerful? A little bit of Fatso yelling. No one will say that. No one will ever say that.
Now, I will tell you, like, you take a Little John from, like, maybe a decade prior, right? So he got
but
famous.
He's fun for some reason. Everybody likes Little John, right?
But the and the stuff he screams, it adds to it better.
Yeah.
The Fatso, when he's like, I'm like, God, every time you say "we the bad,"
what I'm hearing is that you hate obese people.
That's what I heard.
No, I'm calling him that to disrespect.
Yeah, I heard you hate fat
yeah,
people.
But Lil John's
him.
Skinny. He yells.
Tom hates fat people. Cancel him.
Cancel
burn his house down.
Make sure his kids and wife are out of the house.
Yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
So, Dizzle Phunk, where can people pick up this mixtape? Where can they download it? Give us all the information.
This is the best part.
It's exclusively at orlandosown.com. It's all available for download and listen right there.
Is it free?
It's all free.
Yep.
All right, wow.
How cool is that? That's like the best birthday gift I got. So it's Orlando's Own, OWN, and you just jump on there, and bam, you've got lots and lots of local hip-hop to listen to.
Awesome.
I'm really jazzed about this, man.
Well, I appreciate you putting this together, dude. And I mean,
let us know whenever you do this. And you said you're going to do like what, 2 more or 3 more with like producing?
I want to do one with all genres. Like I want to do an all like electronic producer mixtape. I want to do a rock kind of / reggae mixtape.
Hell, yeah.
See how this one works out. And then I also kind of want to put one together that's a DJ Khaled, where I just bring the artists together. We make the beats. So I'm going to work on something like that in the near future as well.
And then Tom comes in and he, what are you doing anymore? What are you just yelling? I'm the band.
You need to have a tagline. This shit sucks.
It would be funny to have Tom occasionally just on the track come in and be like, "Shut up, Fatso!" Right? Like with reverb on it. It's like,
maybe we could put together a podcast mixtape. I don't know what that would look like or how that would work, but
all right.
Something that maybe you could...
you and Alex Jones just screaming.
The frogs are gay. Like, oh God, I don't know if I can handle all that, man.
But I think you could put, because this, I don't think it's ever been done, but you just take clips of different podcasts that we know, that we're friends with,
I
and
like that.
Put it all together. But
it's a dumb idea.
It is dumb.
I'm
sorry I even said it.
I want to throw this out there. If you haven't seen the video, and yes, there is video, you can go to youtube.com and search for Tom and Dan Live. There's video of Tom and Dizzle Phunk in our studio before the world went mad.
Right.
And Tom and Dizzle Funk's teaching Tom how to scratch. And
that was awkward.
It's one of the great. It's so good. It's so bad. It's good. It's I'm gonna have to isolate that. Maybe put it out later today. It's so good. I thank you, Dizzle Phunk, for giving me lovely memories of Tom trying to do hip hop.
And if you want to check out Dizzle Funk's own music and everything about Dizzle Phunk, go to dizzlephunk.com. That's DIZZLEPHUNK.com. Dude, we appreciate you coming on with us today, man.
Hey, man, you guys are the best. I appreciate you taking out the time in your busy schedule to fit me on your screen here.
You got it, man.
No
well, hey, tell the band we said hey. Tell all of your crew we said hello, and hopefully we'll get to see you soon.
Yep.
Yeah, man, when everything picks back up, let's grab a beer or something.
You got it, man.
100%.
Looking forward to it. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, fellas. Take care.
Later. Well, that is our good friend Dizzle Phunk, and you can't beat a free mixtape. A lot of tracks on there, too. I was just on the website, and there appears to be, oh, man, almost 20 tracks. It's a lot.
Wow.
It's a lot. You got some of this we've actually played. Some of these particular artists, like Nico we've played before. Soulja Bless we've played before. Universal Funk Orchestra, that's Dizzle Funk's band. We've played them before. So yeah, if you're into it, go to orlandosown.com and download some free music.
Let's take a quick break. When we come back, I want to talk about Epstein for a second.
I don't know.
I'll tell you all
the fish or the evil man?
The evil man.
The dead evil man. All right, we'll be right back with more at Corporate Time.
Welcome back to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan.
We got our Father's Day package. I think I mentioned that already.
Yeah, the bundle. And then we had the bundle
Don't
fight.
forget about our leggings.
Yep,
And
our leggings.
what do you call them? I was going to say expansion
Booty?
shorts.
Expansion shorts. Yeah, for eating or eating
Compression
shorts.
Yeah,
Expansion shorts.
They're Tom and Dan logo.
They're pre-orders, and that ends June 19th, so get your orders
I
in.
told you how much I dislike the word bundle, and subconsciously you eliminated it from your mind. Because when you came back, you said the Father's Day packs.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'll go back to bundle.
Yeah.
There was no rhyme or reason to anything I say. I'm not doing any
Write
of this
that
on
down.
purpose. So
He'll never say that again.
So Samantha, you watched this docuseries on Epstein?
I did.
So I started it last night.
Too far.
And the guy's a monster.
Well, yeah.
Obviously. But what fascinated me and what no one talks about, or at least I haven't heard anybody talk about, is how this guy made that much money. And seemingly
He was a con man.
Yeah.
They did mention a little bit of it. Well, I don't know how far you are.
I'm only halfway through episode 2. So
he faked documents to say he graduated from a specific college so that he could be a teacher at another college.
yes, yeah, it's all
So
that
he
one.
did a lot of fake documents. Then he worked on Wall Street, stole a bunch of money there.
Yeah. But they didn't talk like.
And then he got while he was on Wall Street, he met and did business with a lot of super rich people and started helping them basically evade taxes. And, he would get his cut. I mean, that's really, he just made his money off rich people doing shady things.
That's
and then his whole
right.
pedophile pyramid scheme.
Yeah. Well, that's.
Well, he made money off that too.
Yes, yeah. But not. I mean, the fortune that he gained.
What was he worth?
Dude, well, I'll tell you. They
At time of locking him up.
In the first episode, they just talk about his estates that he had. He had this mega estate in New Mexico on top of a mountain in the middle of nowhere.
Do they show the interior of any of these places?
Yeah.
He was worth $577 million when he died.
God almighty.
The amount of mansions that he accumulated, like
He had a whole island.
Yeah,
Yeah.
island,
We
New
were talking
Mexico
about that.
mansion, the biggest I guess apartment townhouse
Right.
in New York, like in prime real estate,
Yeah, like a compound in like New Mexico or something.
Yeah. And then there was the one in Paris. Like he just had this insane amount, and then the Palm Beach mansion that he had at his where the most of the pedophile stuff was going on crazy. But yeah, it just, I was like, this guy was able to, through conning and his own like BS fast talking, because another thing that interests me in the documentary is like the people, the millionaires, the ultra wealthy, talking about how he just had a way of convincing them to do things, or like convincing them that he was like right, or manipulating them. That,
He also blackmailed a lot of people.
Yeah, then I'm sure shady business things that he did, and the way he was.
But there
a
would have
POS
been an
artist.
element of
like,
charm to him, right? I mean,
Right.
like, you have to be...
Oh, a lot of the
So you
interviews,
can pull
like he
people
would even
in.
admit, like he admitted to lying about his degrees and stuff when he was on Wall Street, and they were going to fire him, but he talked his way out of it.
Yeah. That's when I was like, he's like, yeah.
Insane.
When we confronted him with like, hey, you did not, and then he said why, and then the guy was like, we don't know why.
That's
but
why he
we
got
just-
away with everything for so long.
And I'm like, he was that. Okay, this is what blows my mind, because like when I
That's
watch
what predators do, Tom.
I know,
They're
but
manipulative.
but when I watch like the Warren Buffett documentary, when I watched the whole thing, I had a better understanding of who Warren Buffett was and how he's just a math genius that was able to just it clicked in his head how the stock market worked, and he just made money through the stock market because
Sure.
he just understood it better than everybody.
Yeah.
He's a math genius. Yeah, so like that is like, oh, okay, that's how. And then with
Well,
the
so is Epstein. He's a math genius. and a stock market
They
genius.
go into that with the stock market?
He knows how to run the stock market. He knows how to cut corners and save people money and do taxes and save people money. Like his clients that he
Was
did
he
all
considered just naturally good at that, or is that just something
Yeah,
that...
they said he was one of the best they've ever seen.
Okay. Well, that makes a little more sense, and I would know that through watching the rest of the documentary. But at the beginning, I was like, this guy just conned his way into making $500 million. Like, this guy literally just talked his way. Like, he didn't start a business. He didn't invent anything.
But there are people that do that.
Yeah.
Like, you and I both know.
I know.
Multiple people that we're not, like, I'm thinking.
Tom wants to be this.
Hold on.
No, I don't know, but I don't know what it
I'm channeling
is.
something to Tom right
I don't
now.
have that.
There is a business here in town I can't say it. I'm sending it to you right now, where you and I have had a discussion. There's two guys. We don't know what it does. We don't know how it operates. We don't know, but it does, and it's massive, and it's big, and seemingly there is buttloads of money there.
Yeah,
and
but there's nothing behind it.
For the life of us, we can't figure out what it is.
And that's
See, Tuna Daddy in the Twitch chat just said, you convinced a bunch of non-dads to buy Father's Day merchandise. Manipulation is easy.
okay. Well, that's. But here's
Dad is not written on anything that we put out other than the mug, sir.
See, but that
Which
is,
I drink out of.
it's tangible.
Oh,
Not a dad.
And you can explain it like me.
You're my dad.
If
you're my radio dad.
If you're
All right,
a
I'll
good
take it.
salesperson and you convince someone to buy a product, it's like, okay, well, you're just a good salesperson. But this is more complicated than that. It's like this is more of you're convincing people to invest into you, but you really there's nothing tangible except for the fact that you convince them that you can.
Well,
if
normally
they give you some
when
money,
people
that you can turn into
invest-
money.
Well, you want evidence, right? Like if I ever invest or help somebody, I want to see the evidence that they have to lead me to believe that whatever they're doing is something that is worthy of my investment.
But it's Ponzi schemes. It's kind of like what's that other Bernie Madoff, where he kind of did a similar thing where he just was a fast talking, manipulative, rich guy that got
That's how these guys get rich.
yeah. But this is illegal. Like in the Ponzi scheme, you go to jail. It's illegal to do. And I know there was a little bit of a Ponzi scheme at the beginning of
pedophile
Epstein,
Ponzi scheme.
at the Epstein thing. But it's like that's the topic I just want to talk about is the people that get rich and successful, but without starting a business, without inventing anything, without really doing anything except for being able to manipulate and fast talk.
Well, let me ask you this:
Weird to me.
If I were a millionaire, but because we know these guys too. What if I was do you give any validity to me if I were a millionaire and my only talent was that I'm really good at connecting people that can work well together?
Well,
Wait a minute.
But
I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, but who's giving you money?
It's almost like I'm finding the connections, and just because of the connections, kind of goes back to what we were talking about
DJ Khaled.
with DJ Khaled or Dizzle Phunk. It's like your talent is not necessarily like running the board or creating the music, but you know that Tom working with Samantha is going to work and will be a hit.
Right.
So you connect those two people, and then you get a cut.
DJ Khaled convinced everyone that he
management.
was a DJ, and he's not.
Yeah, it's like a finder's fee, right?
I guess there's management. It's like you get if you manage someone, you enter this agreement where it's like, hey, whatever money I get you, I get 10%, and that manager just goes out and finds ways to make to have this client make money, and then you make money off of that. That I understand. It's like there's certain there's jobs, management, publicist, promoter or something like that, where you're getting a cut of the ticket sales and stuff. I understand that. It's just it's the people, and like you said, we know them. That it's like, what is it? What do you do? Because I just can't and they don't even really explain it to anybody.
Well,
because I think there's nothing there.
Yeah, there's nothing there. Like the guys that I'm thinking of, you and I are thinking of. I still don't know what their job is, but I do know that they have money. And it leads me to believe that in some way they came into some money, whether it was a settlement, a car accident, or something. And they're able to have enough money to solidify enough things in their personal and professional life to give you, everybody out there, that external confidence. Like when you look at them, they got the right car, the building. They are professional dressed. They look the part, and I have no reason to doubt them. And that works for a lot of people, right?
That's a Bernie Madoff.
It works for a lot of people.
I think Epstein is like, and then when you get into these elite cultures or groups of people that have like an insane amount of money, it seems like you were talking about 100 millionaires and billionaires that it's easy to leech millions off of them, because it would be like someone like a Big Tim leeching $100 here and them. Not that he's like this, but off of me just because like I was like he convinced me to invest into his tank truck or whatever cockamamie scheme. I'm like, yeah, $100, here you go. But so that's like them with the billionaires. Like here's $1 million, $1 million, whatever. It doesn't even matter because the money is unlimited to them.
Right.
So he just found a way to con the uber rich instead of like the lower,
So instead of a $5,000 investment, a $50,000 or a $500,000 investment
is $50 million.
And then you just kind of work your way up the rank for people.
That's just, and I kind of get it because, but I guess you also need the mental illness, I'll call it, of not caring about doing something illegal or fraudulent or screwing someone over.
Well,
because
even the
Madoff, he knew like all these investors' money, they were just going back to paying off the. It was all fake.
It's just like the whole Firefest thing, right?
Yeah.
That guy just made a bunch of stuff up, and he had that company before that.
Yeah,
it's just con man.
But like
stuff,
for
man.
you and I, like we're pretty what you see, what you get, right? So it would make either of us way too uncomfortable. Like when we have client meetings here, and we do, we're a real business, small business, but we're a real business. When we have client meetings over here, we don't go out of our way to be anything other than we are. If we started playing that game, trying to defraud people or give people something that we're not, if there's nothing authentic there, we wouldn't be able to do it.
Now, but there is
there's no way.
There is something to be said for the people that believe so much into. It's kind of like, I think this was the case with that lady.
Wow, Dan Paul needs to call in about that.
What?
In the Twitch chat room, he says, I worked for a company that hired actors as employees and customers to fool investors. They were thriving and it worked. Scams be everywhere, he says.
Oh, yeah. Call in, Dan.
Dude, that's nuts.
But I think that documentary I watched about the lady that wanted to do that 24-hour blood test or the simple prick your finger blood test machine.
Oh, yeah.
What was it called?
I remember that lady. Yeah.
Something blood, whatever. It's on HBO. It's a great
tragic
documentary. But see, I don't put her in the scam artist category because I do think she got it in over her head and she started lying and stuff like that. But her initial...
The inventor out for blood?
The inventor,
Well, that's sort of what they say about the guy from Firefest, too, even though I don't believe him quite as much as this lady.
Well, you let it get too far.
But they say there is an element of like...
He thought that he can make it happen, and he did.
There is no way.
Yeah.
There is no way.
He was ignorant into what it would take to make it happen, but he believed he could.
Yeah.
And I think this lady believes if she got the money,
I think they think they can pull it off. It's there are the other guys though that know they can't and don't care.
Yeah. That's where it's the con.
Yeah,
because
that's the con.
Because there's one thing where if I I have this business idea and then I'm like, I really do think it's legit, but I need money to start it, and then I go out and find investors, and then through my personal sales pitch and my personality, I convince investors to dump millions of dollars into this business idea. But if I really truly believe and that it's going to work out, then, and if it fails, then it's just a failed investment and failed business idea. It's not really a con. The difference is believing that you can do it and then knowing you can't and taking the money anyway, right?
I'll give you a perfect example.
Or
think about when we crowdfunded this business.
Yeah.
We did the quintessential. Do you want to invest in us?
Yeah.
But we had the intention of like we're gonna sit on this. We were so careful with the money,
but they weren't investors though.
No,
because it wasn't like I'm gonna invest for this return. You were buying like, hey, you bought the membership, which almost is gonna pay off soon.
Yeah,
where
it's close. It's close.
Where you would have now free BDM. So for the founders,
you're about to make money
in a couple of years.
If you want to look at it that
it'll be like, well, I saved money because if I was a yearly member for this long, I would have hit this number.
But we
anyway.
always intended to do exactly, and we are,
Yeah.
Doing exactly what we intended to do. It'd be different if we said, hey, help us get this thing up and running. We take all the money, never do any of this, and on to the next town.
Yeah.
They're getting you in the chat. They said if you can get one investor, you can get two investors. If you can get two investors, you can get four investors.
I know.
The funny thing is,
That's
though,
true, though.
is that it is true.
Yeah.
So they can say that and make fun of him all
is
he
the
wants
truth.
to.
That's what Epstein did at these guys.
That's exactly his
Madoff.
model.
And then he used...
You are our show's Epstein.
And then
I've always said that. I've always said
the
that.
problem is, and then if I blew all the money on yachts, and then just kept getting more investors, and then using that new investor money to pay dividends to the previous investors, saying, "Look, I'm making."
But you have been using all of the founders' money on both our storage space that we have and all the broken reindeer you have inside of it. There's 25 broken animatronic reindeer inside our storage space.
I don't know why, but it's just every time I see this, I'm like, what? It's going to go back to DJ Khaled. I'm like, I don't understand it.
Well, don't understand it? Because I'm really trying to dial that down for you. Do you think that comes from a place where you think people should be like, why aren't you figuring this out? Why aren't you skeptical? Why are you so stupid? Is that what you're saying? Because it sounds like both with the Bernie Madoff or like DJ Khaled, in both times you're like, why are you claiming to enjoy this? It's terrible. You know this is bad. Why are you doing it?
Well, I'm also, I kind of get upset about the other people that are around Epstein not questioning, like, why is this guy rich? What has he done? Like, because if you're
How about get mad at the people that also exploited underage girls? That information is out there, and nobody else is being held accountable for that.
No. I know the whole pedophile.
Oh, you mean
thing,
the list?
I like that Tom is just like, the whole pedophile thing.
Well,
how did he get his money?
No, but that's not what he wanted to talk about. He wanted
to
talk about the money aspect. The pedophile thing, I think we can all universally agree that guy is a blanking monster, horrible, rot under the hell person.
Also, I think it's easy to cover
up. But
he
did that the same way he made his money.
As far as he used that same con man thing.
I don't necessarily want to finish my night with that.
That's why, I'm trying to just stay away from the pedophile thing because that's so heavy to talk about.
My nightmares. I'm going to bed, and the last thing I see is some crazy, the world's greatest pedophile. Jeez,
and then just the way he manipulated everybody. It's a monster. But I'm going back to
I just read my Archie comics.
The money part of it, I was like.
But I'm saying it's the same thing. He's a great manipulator.
Yeah. No,
that's all it boils down to.
I feel like I could, if someone was like, if someone was in our circle and then this person was like, I'm like, we're all questioning, like, how does this person get so rich? Like, what does he do? Like, you start questioning, why is this person at this level?
Yeah, like why do they have that level of influence?
And then if you couldn't figure it out, that would make me skeptical.
A lot of people don't live their lives thinking about things the way you do. I mean, I'd like to think that all of us here try to take most decisions in our life, if not all, and give it a beat, give it a couple of Mississippis to think it out, right?
He did do business with businessmen, and billionaires. So I would probably just think, he, manages their money. He has investments, like.
Yeah.
Just because someone's rich, you don't know exactly what their job is, doesn't mean that,
Well, when I'm confused by it, you would think these other rich dudes that actually did start businesses and do own businesses.
Well, they were all shady too. Wait till you get to a certain part where he goes to a different company and who admittedly was scamming people out of money and knew it, and he took the bid for it. He went to prison for it.
Gotcha.
And Epstein didn't.
So he just found other people that were scam artists or
and you wonder why I
skirting around the laws.
And you wonder why I watch In the Kitchen with David on QVC at night. That stuff, man, it bums me out.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So for me, it's
give me all the tragedy.
It's just I find it interesting.
I'm still recovering from what was it? Accused, guilty or innocent.
Yeah,
that
catch up on that.
Oh, I heard the next two are just terrible. And my wife won't stop watching First 48. I just read Betty and Veronica.
Yeah.
They're down with Archie at the chocolate shop having a milkshake. I gotta get some Mayberry in my face.
It's like when I heard like an Elon Musk talk about like making money. He's like he on the last Joe Rogan interview, he was just talking about like he respects people that like make things. And I kind of think like that too. It's like you're making something, you're inventing something, you're producing something. It's more, in my mind, I lean more towards that, even though it's funny because our company is not like that. Whereas as far as we're just like providing some sort of whatever you want to call as entertainment or whatever.
We make something. We're making something right now.
Content.
Yeah. But
some would say we're making content. Some would say we're making brown.
But it's that
like a baby.
That where I'm like I could wrap my head around. It's like, oh, you invented Tesla, and then that's what you sell now. It's like perfectly easy to everybody to understand. It's like, all right, this is, and then
you've always been a little baffled by the facilitator is the term I give it. You know, the guy that's pulling strings, and you don't really know like what do you do? Well, I set that up. Well, but what? That's all you do? No, I tell this guy about that thing, and I connect that guy with that thing.
Yeah.
And you've always had a problem with that.
Well, it's
because there's nothing tangible there.
It's like a manager's or a what I guess not really a publicist who takes the cut of I guess you would be your manager, but like let's say when you're an actor or whatever, you have an agent. Okay,
Yeah.
The agents where the agent is there to negotiate the deal for you,
Right.
But he's just taking a cut.
Kind of
for
like your
negotiating the
advocate.
deal. Yeah, your advocate. That to me too is like
But not everybody can do that themselves
no,
because they don't like it.
Yes, and
So it's almost a convenience thing at some point, right?
Yeah. And you probably he'll get you more money even with his take than you could have got yourself.
Correct.
So I understand that.
He's also
aspect
not as invested, so sometimes he can say things that you wouldn't be willing to say because you're so close.
Of course, yeah. It's the same thing with like a real estate agent.
Yeah.
Like that's why you want to hire a real estate agent because you want to get one person removed. But for like the entertainment agent, when it gets to like you know, I hear Adam Carolla talk about James Baby Doll Dixon and how he's like Jimmy Kimmel's agent and a bunch of these other
That's a good name.
big
Baby
big
Doll
stars agents. And so if he's negotiating a deal for Jimmy Kimmel, it could be a $10 million deal, and he's getting 10%
Who
of that.
negotiated Rogan's deal?
So
Somebody did.
Yeah. So he's
I don't
getting
think Rogan did it. Maybe he did, though. Maybe he's hands-on.
It's kind of like a waiter at some point where it's like, all right, once you get to the super, super fancy, extreme, high-end steakhouse and your bill is like $500, then it's like, do you still give him that waiter 20% of an insane amount of like bill? But it's, technically he's doing the same.
Man,
I know.
You said this to me in Vegas when I bought him a really nice steak, and then he's like, "Do we still give him the 20%?" And because your argument, and I couldn't disagree with you, was because they brought less food.
Yeah.
Because it was just a steak,
Right.
and we shared like some scalloped potatoes. So there are really three. He only brought 3 plates. And well, he did bring about 150 Bud Lights to the table, but it was just 3 plates.
Yeah.
So I couldn't
He's
disagree
doing the same
with you.
thing.
No, he's doing
Chili's-
less.
Yeah, or less.
Because it's 3 plates. You see what I'm saying?
Now I understand his knowledge may be superior to other people and the way that all that stuff.
He
but
had
it's
the
like,
little crumb rake,
does he
for
deserve-
the paper. He had
Yeah.
the little crumb rake, and
Yeah.
Tom was like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, he'd never seen it before.
So like you're negotiating a deal and it's like and you got $1 million for it, but it's like, is it really $1 million?
And it probably
with it?
really makes you mad now that you know how to sous vide your own steak and do it at home.
Well, the
It's
chef,
gonna- it
I mean,
really
the
makes you
waiter,
mad.
the waiter is just bringing the table to the food and making sure I'm okay. Like now I'm giving like this guy 25 or 20% off a $500 bill. I'm like, that's he made a lot of money for bringing 3 plates to my table. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, does this person deserve that much money for that little work at that point? Like, yeah, I know you could say that about a lot of people, but you start getting to the point where this is absurd. Like you had one phone conversation and you made a deal for Jimmy Kimmel and you made $1 million off of that. Like that's a lot of money for one phone conversation. Anyway,
Okay, he's starting to spin. I saw it.
I
He's
know.
like loosening his button on his polo.
I know I'm an idiot. This
No,
is how
you're not
things
an
just
idiot.
work.
No, you're not an idiot. It's just you're questioning the things that you are becoming a little bit of like my dad, like a grumpy dad.
yeah, grumpy
little
old
bit.
man.
Yeah.
I'll stop talking.
But
about
no, I like it because there's a part of you that when you say those things, I question it. I go, well, I see what he's saying. Yeah, if you go to a tapas restaurant, let's say you go to Cafe Tutu Tango, and let's say Sam's our waitress, and we bring our families. I mean, she's gonna hop. She's gonna come back and forth probably 17 to 25 times with multiple plates everywhere.
It's a reasonably
You're
priced
saying
meal.
that she deserves more money for doing more work than guy who brought 3 plates at a high-end steak restaurant for $500 check.
Because the food costs more, so I'm just giving a percentage off the food,
Correct.
the total bill, not necessarily. It doesn't represent the work the waiter's doing per se. You know, it's just a percentage of the total bill because this steak restaurant is expensive as
But
hell.
some people in the chat room are even like echoing that maybe it takes, let's see here. Brock is saying in our Twitch chat room, twitch.tv/TomAndDanLive, he says it takes like 15 years to become a server at Burns Steakhouse in Tampa.
Right.
So
because they get paid so much, everybody wants to be there.
Right, but like you would have to wait, in line to get there. So is that the justification for the extra tip? Because percentage-wise, you put time in to get to Burns.
Yeah.
I guess.
Although for the customer, if you're just like, hey, I want this steak, medium rare, and this sides, and he's like, all right. Then he comes and brings it. That translates to $100 tip because you're going to give me a 20% tip.
Pretty awesome, right?
And my bill, and that's what it is. It's like, all right, that's where we're at as a society. Like, I'm paying this guy $100 to go to the kitchen and pick my steak plate up and bring it to my All right.
So Juan is weighing back in. He's saying you have to memorize the wine list, the flavor profiles of the food, and every single ingredient in every single dish. You have to ask about food allergies.
If you're making $1,000 a night, it doesn't seem like that much to memorize. You know what I'm saying? Like, if someone's like, hey, you'll eventually make $1,000 a night off tips, but you got to memorize the wine list. Like, okay, I'll do that.
I mean, you have a good memory. You're good at memorizing stuff. You might have missed your calling because you also don't care how people treat you. Like there's a level of obliviousness to you that almost might be a superpower for a waiter or waitress. Because if somebody just is in a bad mood, you may not even pick up on it. You're unaffected by it. You see what I'm saying?
But that same power will make me F up everybody's order.
You ordered that medium rare? It's well done, sir. It's black. Whoa. I can't spell well done.
Hey, no one can read my handwriting. I'd forget people's order. I get it wrong.
Are you on Bovada again?
I'm not good at customer service per se. I could be decent.
My wife is allergic to shrimp.
Yeah. I'd be screaming, why am I making this much? This is not, no one deserves to make this much for just walking back and forth.
And I'll play the horn sound effect like DJ Khaled.
I would question my own pay. That's bad for
that's good. Right in front of the boss.
Yeah.
All right, we got to take a break.
You're an idiot.
We'll take.
I'll do this for half the cost.
We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back with more Corporate Time right after this.
Welcome back to a Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. I mean, since the pandemic and COVID crazy, we've been doing little Skype jump-ins with some of our favorite members of our team, the people that make the show really and truly what it is, and somebody that we've known for an extended period of time, but we didn't know really the depth of his. And I'll pot him up so he can hear me say this. The depth of his craziness. The depth.
Some call it crazy. Some call it a character.
My wife calls it complete '90s lunacy. It is our good friend, the superhero known as Cadillac Pat.
How you doing?
What's up, guys? What's going on?
How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
You look good.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
You
got some.
You've
there's new duds on.
Oh yeah, you've and by new you mean 35 years old. Those duds are at least 35 years old. He's wearing the finest of 90s windbreaker, 90s blades, backwards 90s hat. Is your hair still super long?
Oh, it's longer than it's ever been.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's longer than it's just hot.
What's the end goal here, Pat?
Wash it. So
Pat, what's the end goal?
I gotta wash it.
How does this play out? I mean, with you, well, I feel like it plays out with you holed up in a damn Scott. You're taking no prisoners. It's not going to end well.
It's a murder-suicide.
Yeah, it does. It does scream of 90s murder-suicide.
We're like, oh, no, he did it.
I knew it. Oh, well, at least he got the blood on all that old clothing and not new clothing.
No, I got no end goal, man. I just know I'm one day at a time. So no
end,
one day at a time. So no end for me.
Oh, Pat, before we start your cribs, remember that promotion is where I first met Pat. We did like this sports bar promotion. Forgot the name of the place, but
yes, it was Gators.
Was it at Gators? And it was.
Dude, Pat used to work at Gators.
No, he came.
No, I was there drinking. Drunky the Bear was going to be.
I love, man. Shout out to Gators. I like me some Gators. Me and Sam will get down on some ranch and some cold beers.
It wasn't a Gators promotion. It was to promote this kiosk that was.
Yes, exactly.
It was the very incarnation of fantasy football. Like it was before.
Wait, before we did it on our phones, you'd have to go to a damn kiosk?
This company.
I'm not doing that.
Do you remember that, Pat? What was that?
I'll tell you exactly what it was. I played it every week. It was like you go up there, five players.
I didn't even do it.
And they did every hour. You win $25 every hour on the hour. Huh. And if you got the most points, you would win $100.
But I
played it a lot.
It was like daily fantasy, right?
It was on Sunday for football only, and it was every hour. And you had a list of like 25 players to pick from. You couldn't pick any player. They had a specific list of players that they would hand out little sheets, and you would pick five of those players.
It was weird, and you had to do it at their particular kiosk, which they put around, like, I guess they made an agreement with Gators, and then you go there, and it was like rudimentary gambling, but fantasy football gambling, where you'd actually... You get paid off by the Gators, right, or something?
Yeah. So you won. You got a little receipt. You'd bring it to the bartender, and they'd give you the money for it. Or if you wanted to put it towards your tab, you could do that too.
It was weird, but it was like the first instance of how they who knows what happened to that company. I'm sure.
The reason why I liked it also, it was like social media, because when you picked your players, it took a little screenshot picture of you from that kiosk, and they had a TV on the wall. And it would post your score with your picture.
I remember that.
And like you were playing people at other Gators, you could see their picture. If you won, they put like the balloons, and it says Cadillac Pat won $25.
It's interesting.
Here's water for lakes kind of thing.
Because I'm sure some guy, it is a good idea, because it really is just daily fantasy. But he probably had it before they were doing daily fantasy, and then. Obviously that got taken and blew up, and that guy's probably like, no!
Yeah.
Or maybe that was the beginning of whoever started the, I don't know, who knows, but I'm sure that guy's mad right now, regardless of.
Well, what happened was, after like week 12 of the football season, you go to Gators, it's not crazy busy, and no one was playing every hour, except it'd be me and JJ and like one other guy playing.
Yeah.
So we'd only put $15 into the pot, and we were going to win 25. And it was every hour. So, if it was like once a day at the bar, it would make money. But every hour, you got to get people to go up to this kiosk, put $5 in. So you could win by only, like, it was a good odds, because I was only playing against two other people to potentially win $25.
Gotcha. Yeah, because that's right. It was you were only playing against the people at the bar.
Cadillac has been you've been Cadillac Pat for a very long time. Haven't
Cadillac for a while.
Oh, I have.
All right, Pat, let's get started. So we are inside your house, apartment. Yes. What are we looking at here?
House.
All right.
Oh, he's don't let Tom bully you like that. But what are we in your apartment? And you're like, house, I will kill you. You'll be the first one I kill when I take over the Amscott.
A house, apartment, same.
When this guy's covering the security cam with a '90s jacket at the Qdoba, and he's launching some AR rockets at your Trump truck, you're going to be very upset.
So where are we starting at, Pat? Are we in
This is my kitchen. Well, this is in the kitchen.
Oh, wait, hold on. What is that? Why do you have tire marks down your door?
No, it's fake $100 bills that I glued on there.
No. That's classy.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I thought brushed aluminum was the pinnacle of living single.
That'll let the women know that this guy, he's grown up.
Oh, wow.
And I did a door too. Look, a wall. I did a whole wall, and I made it connect down the bottom.
Oh man, you got good. You got good weed.
Yeah, the UCF co-eds, they really like that.
Yeah,
they like.
Over here, you can see my sticker collection. Here are my bottles of Goldschlager with highlighter in them.
But the junior and seniors, they're too immature.
Okay, here's freshman. Look at his Cadillac.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
and he put Boss Hog horns on the front of it. He emailed me about that or texted me. He's like, I got horns, man.
So yeah, I just got that done last week. I finally got a bracket done. But this is like the man cave. Here's my art goes down. This is still from Sunday.
Oh wow! I had no idea that.
I got paint and art everywhere.
Looking at Orlando's '90s Banksy.
But by the way,
then we're into the kitchen. Go ahead, yeah.
The horns on your Cadillac. Where'd you get that?
Well, they were laying with the money stickers he put on his doors. All of that stuff comes in a big douchebag kit.
My God.
I'm just messing with you.
I always wanted horns on the front of a Caddy as a kid. This is a joke.
Yeah.
And I actually did it about 15 years ago on another Cadillac that I had.
That's how
just as
long
a
he's
joke,
been
and
the
it
superhero.
Never got old.
Yeah.
Why did I related to like oil barons, like those guys? It's like a
You
Texas
should know
thing,
this.
right?
Cadillac is a long-standing Native American word for bovine or cow.
Is it?
Yeah.
No.
Look that up.
No.
Bet me right
Really?
now. How much you want to
Really?
bet? You want to lose some money today?
No.
How confident are you?
Well,
I'm pretty confident. I'm
yeah.
lying so hard right now.
I'm looking it up over here.
Yeah, it hurt my chest just to try and sell
You
that.
trick you.
Damn it.
You got me to. I
He
shied
would've
away.
folded.
Yeah,
I shied away.
I wanted you to fold so hard.
Yeah.
Got to practice that for when I'm playing on Poker Bros later.
But why did look that?
Oh,
up
by the
real-
way, I already lost my $200 in one hand. They told me to play tight. I played last night Poker Bros. I lost my ass.
Drunk high.
Yeah,
with Buddy
well, then
Andrew.
Andrew called me, put my credit card number in.
Oh no.
Bad.
Anyway, so we're walking through your man cave / art gallery. And
Show us some of your art.
yeah.
Here's one of my lizards.
Oh,
okay.
wow. Add that to the collection.
What's that, buddy?
What's his name?
Yeah.
Little JJ.
All right.
Oh.
Little JJ. What kind of lizard is that?
What does the J stand for?
It's called a bearded dragon.
Oh, the old beard.
He's a buddy of mine. He used to have a dragon. So look, more fake hundreds. I went through a phase, boys,
Oh my god.
of fake hundreds. Bad.
That
fake
one is
hundreds.
framed.
Framed.
Yeah.
Did you go to
I think he went to AutoZone and bought 1 million air fresheners.
what's the coolest place on earth though? What is that
What?
Oh,
place?
the coolest. Oh, you mean Sam Flax?
Yeah, did you get that framed to Sam Flack? The coolest
No.
store in Orlando.
I went through a phase. I have no idea. But look, here's some of my art. I made these. Went through a phase of making frames too. So I made these frames during quarantine, like out of I found some fencing on the side of a road, and I took the fence and I cut it and sanded it down.
Wow.
And made frames. I made a bunch of them actually.
Huh, that's interesting.
Came out good.
It looks
Yeah.
exactly like you found some trash and made a frame.
When I look
That's
at
the way
it,
you're. That's what
I
you're
mean,
going
some
for.
say frame. Others of us say, why'd that man hang a piece of dirty fence on his wall?
Okay, here's some of my
There's a
art. I
lot
just did
going
this,
on
a
in
couple
this
weeks
house.
ago. Oh yeah.
What
I
do you
got
call
a vintage stoplight too.
Oh, the old stoplight on top.
man. Some would say if I was blindfolded and they left me in your abode, I would think I was in a 1994 Spencer's Gift.
You know what you need
All right, now
next?
look here.
What is that?
Yeah,
Here's
yeah.
the entrance to my art gallery. If you can see that.
Oh, we can see it.
Yeah, what is it?
just duct tape
just
cardboard?
made a funny sign to let everybody in. So look, here's my spare room, but I call it my art gallery.
Oh my
I've
god.
got all kinds of art on the walls. Like I made
Oh,
that.
you
I made
did-
that frame
Yeah,
too.
you didn't finish that one. That's a
I know, but I like it like
Yeah,
that.
an open frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No frames can hold me.
Yeah, that's what I say to my wife when she's like, "You didn't fold this laundry." I'm like, "That's how I like it."
Yeah. I only fold one sleeve. It's the style.
yeah.
Yeah, the kids call it on fleek.
I like my house messy, and
I like my frames open. So sue me.
like,
Last time I
here's
checked,
more-
this was American. If I only want to frame one side of my painting, I can.
Oh look! More fake hundreds I glued to
my
God.
pieces of wood.
Okay,
For the love of God,
look,
man.
we've done a lot of these. We've done Seth and Busey, and we've talked to Dan Cummins, and who else?
Big
Who am I
Tim,
missing? Big Tim. And
Bus
this
Decker.
by far is my favorite already.
Yeah.
By far.
Now,
Look! More fake hundreds, like fake hundreds, fake
Hey,
hundreds.
can we have one of those for the studio?
Fake hundreds. Yeah, I'll bring you one for
Yeah,
sure.
bring us one. I'll hang that up.
is that like your
right.
signature, similar to
Banksy,
Banksy? Like,
yeah.
is that your little girl holding a balloon?
Yeah.
Your fake hundred?
Yeah, well, you'll have to put it in an
hardcore into it.
impoverished an area, maybe that there was some sort
Bosnia.
of like. No, well, yeah, you could put it there, or you could put it in like an inner city to kind of
Oh,
justify
okay,
the
yeah.
socioeconomic problems that are going on
Yeah, yeah.
there,
It
or maybe
represents, yeah.
gentrification or something like that. You could throw it up there. Where are you going to start hanging? Are you going to start doing like art drops, free art drops around town?
You know, I had a guy approach me about actually doing like a full-on art show, and I was confused why he actually wanted me to do it. He liked my art, so I'm supposed to do an art show. Sometime it was going to happen during COVID. Obviously, COVID stopped everything, but hopefully he can contact me. I'm going to do an actual art show soon and just have my art sit around. And I want to wear like a turtleneck and look like a real pretentious artist. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Walk around all snooty.
Was
like
this guy look like Lou Pearlman? And maybe it's like, hey, I want you to do an art show. Come to my.
All you got to do is come over here and give me a massage.
Come give me a massage. Take your clothes off. You show me your $100 bills.
I am gonna wrap myself in this saran wrap nude, and I just want you to take your long, luscious hair and just
He has a claw machine in his house.
just dust my body with it.
Okay.
A Winn-Dixie claw machine.
Where'd you get that?
Winn-Dixie.
I found it online. I had to have it. And look, it's
Oh, I
got
want
money.
that.
Look, more fake hundreds in the corner.
You are like a.
What the hell?
Hold on a second. He is very close to almost Castleberry Sausage Castle.
Yes.
What part of town are you in? Because you
Waterford Lakes.
Oh, okay, you're Waterford Lake Sausage Castle. You're very similar in the way that your mansion looks to Busey's.
You are Castle.
I'm close to your neighborhood.
The Castle Castle. The Castle.
And look, I got
Or the
people
sausage
love this
sausage.
for some reason too. I got like a wooden
Sausage berry?
fire hydrant, and everybody loves this for some
You got
reason
an
when they see
Italian.
pictures of it.
Wait, the Italian wooden fire hydrant. That's what my dad called his penis.
I mean, I keep it next to the Miss Pac-Man machine.
Where did you get a Miss Pac-Man Galacta machine?
Again, you look around hard enough, you'll find
Galaga.
anything you want on the internet.
Galaga.
Pat, I'm not going to lie, but you are every man's spirit animal that would be single. Like
And
you
he's
have
holding tight to it, man.
You have all the stuff that my wife yelled at me. You can't buy that and put it in her house.
You know what, Cat? Cat. I almost called him Cat. You know what Pat is? Pat is divorce, no wife.
Yeah,
You're right.
Or real life big, you Tom Hanks.
Oh, Tactical Hat said the same thing.
Yeah,
This is like the movie Big.
Yeah, you're like, I want a Pac-Man machine. I want a claw machine.
And he doesn't let anybody see. He wears what he wants to wear everywhere he goes. He wears his blades. He carries his fake cell phones everywhere. He doesn't let any woman tell him what to do, or man.
I call it Pee-wee's Playhouse too. That's a little more like, it's
Don't call it
kind of
that.
like Pee-wee's
Don't ever call him that. My God. Yeah.
Don't ever refer to your house as Pee Wee's
Yeah,
Playhouse.
is that what you tell the girls? Hey, you want to come back to Pee Wee? You're dressed like you're dressed, and you're like, hey, maybe later, do you want to come back to Cadillac Pat's art gallery? I call it Pee Wee's Playhouse. Like, she's gonna call the cops on you, man.
Yeah. Don't do that.
See, look, here's the art corner of all my supplies, like my canvas and like other art accoutrement that's in these boxes. Oh, here's the like the thing that I want on The Price is Right, the chest or the hutch.
Oh, you kept the hutch.
The China hutch. Okay, let's talk about that.
What's inside there? Bongs?
So,
what is that?
Yeah.
Glassware.
yeah.
This.
Pee Wee's glassware.
You got a tea kettle.
Here, this is why I won this neck cooler on The Price is Right. And look, I got the titty tags.
A 20-year-old neck cooler.
Big.
With the finest technology of 2001.
I know.
So it's your China hutch. You wanted Price is Right. It kind of became like
a liquor cabinet, kind of.
Yeah.
that and your homage towards The Price is Right. You got your name tag.
Totally.
Yeah, that's cool.
And a lot of listeners, we had you on talking about The Price is Right, but Pat was on.
Why do we want to call him Cat?
I don't know.
Hey, show us where the old man died in your house.
That was the art gallery. That was right in there.
Take us in there. I want to see if his spirit's in there. Let's see if we can bring him out.
Come on. Do you have a roommate right now?
Hear us, old man who died. Hear us now. Hear our call.
Come on, man.
Shake some of these crappy paintings if you can feel me.
Pat's friend as a roommate. It was Old Blue.
He cared. He cared for that man deeply.
I did.
Did you find him?
Yeah.
Did you find him?
I found him almost dead in my house twice, and then I had to have him move out because it was just getting too rough. And he moved right down the road, and I would go to his house and clean his house for him and take him to Publix.
Oh man.
And it was. And then the worst. I just got a phone call from like some nurse one day. She's like, "Hey, Bobby, he passed away." And I was like, "Wow, thanks for the
matter of
sympathy."
Fact.
If you would like to donate some of your fake hundreds to the cause.
Also, Daniel, feel free to keep the jokes coming because Pat kicked the dying man out of his house.
I know, right? It's like, well, he almost died twice, so I booted his ass out. Like, you get out of here.
You can't die in here, old man.
Yeah, you got to die down the road, but I'll still clean your house because I want to see it happen. I want to see you die.
I'm sorry, Pat. You're the nicest man in the world. And you know what? Me and Daniel are true bullies because we gravitate. We try to.
We see the weakness. We're like a rat. I see the crack, and I gotta squeeze my body through it.
He's like, this guy's so nice. We can bully him all day long.
Yeah,
he won't care.
He's not gonna do anything. First of all, I size you up. I see your muscles, and I'm like, don't bully that guy. But then I see how weak you are mentally, and I'm like, I can bully him hard.
Well,
he's not gonna do anything.
Yeah,
he's not gonna do anything to me.
He's the nicest guy in the world.
I could literally give you a poop mohawk. You do nothing to me.
But he could. He could kill you.
But he could. Yeah. He's literally bully strong for nothing.
No, yeah.
He'll do nothing.
Yeah, too nice to be strong.
But if we teamed up, we could really do some damage.
Yeah. Daniel will be that little dog that follows you that tells you.
Yeah. See what I'm saying? Yeah. I'll be that dog.
All right. What else we got, Pat? Can we go into your refrigerator? We always like to look inside the fridge.
Oh yeah, I would love to shoot because you know what? I
Dollar
am
bills.
such a fridge I have to have my fridge in clean and always in order.
Oh, that has to be in order. The rest
Well,
of
the
it
house
is chaos.
the house is in order.
It's chaos.
It's not clean. It's just crazy.
Oh wow, you
My
do
house
have.
is always walk-in
What do you got,
ready.
donuts?
That's the thing I always like.
You got
It's walk-in
donuts?
ready all the time.
Donuts
like
and
there's never a
warm-
dish in my sink.
Oh wow,
Always clean and like.
that's a legit nice ass kitchen, dude.
What does that
Thank
say?
you.
Oh, it says
I have a robot.
show your tees. Okay, he's a
My
robot
God.
saying show
So
your
look,
tees.
if
How
you
old
look,
are you,
all the condiments
Again,
are
he's
on
real
the
life
door
big.
where they're supposed to be, and then I got like your juices and stuff up top, and some drinks.
Yeah.
So everything, and I'm like, I keep an eye on this stuff in this fridge. Like nothing stays in this fridge longer than than it's supposed to, and I get rid of it all.
I like how Pat
quick.
has one White Claw because that's usually how long his dates last. He's like, she's like, I gotta get out of here. You didn't drink your whole raspberry.
Oh, what scared you away? The traffic light, the claw
You
machine?
started covering my thighs in fake $100 stickers.
The way I'm dressed, all the bric-a-brac. What is it? It's everything.
What do you not like? Do you not like my dead old man art gallery?
And look, there's your boy back in the day. You know,
Oh,
It's signed too. It's signed. Get us one of those for the bathroom.
Yeah,
all right. I
that'll
can do that.
That'll really show your dates. Oh, you guys. Like,
See, this is what I used to be when I wasn't crazy.
it's like a signed headshot of myself. 20
Only
years
pictures
ago.
of yourself on your fridge?
Yeah, that's-
No,
Oh.
I'm so crazy now. I sign autographs for myself.
My old caddies, some old cars. Big Boy from Outkast. I've shown you that one before.
Yeah. How many Cadillacs have you had? I have that hat he has on, that Atlanta hat.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah, you can buy it off the Big Boy website. Yeah.
Okay.
It's an AT Aliens hat.
So, Pat,
Yeah.
do you live here by yourself?
Yeah,
Do you got any
I've had
other?
probably 6 or 7 caddies.
Wow.
Do you got any other?
No, I got a buddy of mine who lives with me. Yeah, he's
80 years
it's a
old.
3-bedroom house. You know what I mean? I gotta have someone in here.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
he's he's no fun. He's Prius
Well, yeah, I
Paul. No one likes Prius Paul. They like Cadillac.
It's a whole car name.
Yeah.
I had Andy Astrovan for a while.
No, you can't. He's not out of jail.
Oh yeah,
He's still in there.
He's in there for a
Like,
long
it was a
time.
thing.
If they found out what he did, they'll kill him in jail too.
Oh, more.
Oh, my God.
More fake hundreds.
Okay, yeah.
More fake hundreds everywhere. I mean, they're all, and I got pictures galore too. Like, I mean, I like hanging pictures on the wall. It just makes you have memories of, good times.
It's good energy.
So, I mean, there's
yeah.
too many pictures on the walls, but I like it. Brings good memories, and people look at them when they come over, and it's cool.
Well, Cat.
And,
Why am I doing that?
I don't know.
Hold on,
Cat Williams.
Oh, well, it's Cadillac Pat.
Right.
Cat Pat.
let's end with your junk drawer. Do you have a junk drawer? We always like to look in people's junk
Oh
drawers.
yeah.
What do you got in there? The standard
let's see
eyeglass screw.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Scissors, tape. Very good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a
There's-
quality junk drawer.
Yeah. That's
Everybody
perfect.
puts those scissors.
I've got another one a little bit, but it's got more like towels and batteries. This one's got the batteries.
Yeah,
in
you
it.
always put your batteries with your
Because
oven
how many
mitts,
people use?
and you always put your tape with those
Yeah.
scissors that have the nutcracker in the center that you're supposed to use to cut chicken skin.
Yeah.
Everybody puts the.
Yeah.
I've never cut chicken with that.
No.
No, never.
Gross.
The only thing I've ever cut with that is usually like packages for like Maisie's toys.
Yeah. That's all I use it for.
Yeah.
Well,
what are you talking about on the scissors? Wait, what do you mean? Let me.
The scissors have a nutcracker in the center of them.
yeah.
Wait, that thing right there?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a get walnuts or something.
I
Yeah.
had no idea.
It's a nutcracker.
I never knew what that was for.
Well, what do you think it was for?
I don't know. I never
is
thought
that
about
what you
it.
use for your
Maybe.
victims?
Oh no.
Yeah. All these years, I've been using it to remove skin from my victims' toes.
Well,
I never thought about that. Good to know. Next time I'm buying a lot of uncracked nuts.
Yeah, Christmas time. Christmas time rolls around.
Ooh, have you guys seen this game? Have you seen this game yet? Wait, where's it at? I just got this in the mail. Have you seen this game yet?
Oh, Cask?
Yeah.
Clask? Yeah, that's that game that Sweden loves, right?
Or
Or Norway or Finland or something.
And look, it's magnetized, so like if you go to one of these things, you don't want to do that. See how they stick to your thing, and you don't want to do that. But it's fun. It's super fun.
how are you controlling that thing?
What is mine?
It's got a magnet underneath. Look, so there's a magnet on the bottom, and you go under here with your hand.
And then what's the point of it?
You hit this ball. You're supposed to hit this ball into this spot over here.
It's cold
It's got a
area.
goal.
Cold area of Europe. Air hockey is what that is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, kind of. It's like air hockey, exactly.
Slow though.
You know what? We'll make this segment for the Tuesday that we're going to be out, so we can make it low because we're already gone.
Yeah,
past it.
I'm
Thank you.
having
It's
too
fine.
much fun.
Yeah. So what else we got, Pat?
Yeah,
we
keep
got
going.
go
You're messing up my notes.
Yeah,
Keep going.
Sorry.
All right. Okay. Look, you want to see my collection of clothing right now? I got my vintage collection.
All right.
Oh, look. Here's my phone collection. It's hard to see without lighting right now, but let's see if I can see. I got all my phones here. I've got them on a tray.
Is that Haribo gummy bears?
Yeah, I eat a lot of candy too.
You just
Yeah,
stash
you're-
around
there's
your
my
house.
phone.
He's a
Big.
child. He's a child.
Like when I get one of my prop phones, I have a little gummy. Yeah,
I grab one of my phones that doesn't work, and then I call somebody that doesn't exist, and then I eat candy.
If one day you turn back into a child, I'd be like, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
So-
You're like a horny Benjamin Button. And you have a girlfriend now, right? Or no?
Yeah. I just got a girlfriend pretty recently.
That's a new thing.
So
Does
she likes it.
Does she dress in the 90s garb too? And do you guys like...
She dresses cool too. She definitely likes vintage, and she dresses real cool, and she likes the way I dress, so that makes me like her more too.
Does she carry a fake cell phone as well?
No, she does not. But because I won't let her, because I got to be the one that has the phone.
Oh,
look at me, not her.
I'm a
Yeah,
sexist,
yeah.
insane person.
Yeah.
You're not the crazy one.
So-
I'm the crazy
Does
one.
your girlfriend ever try to like maybe
Escape? Oh.
Does she try to you redecorate or maybe say
How about
hey,
we pull a few of these hundreds down?
or does she,
Not yet. Not yet, at least. She's not tried. I mean, I'm sure the day will come. I'm sure
It's
it's going to happen
new.
one of these
I mean,
days.
Yeah,
it's
For
fresh.
now, no, she's not.
It's
She's
fresh.
not
like
much
I
of anything.
like the way he's so eccentric. That'll wear off.
Yeah.
And be like,
Yeah.
get this traffic like the hell out of here.
You put hundreds on my toothbrush and my shampoo I left over. I do not like that.
Oh, look, wait. I got this too. Like, hundreds on my fucking trash can with the Winn-Dixie
Oh,
bag
my
in
God.
it.
Oh,
It was a problem.
wow.
You know what I mean?
I'm glad that you're a Winn-Dixie man. Even your claw game said Winn-Dixie, and I'm a
Yeah,
Winn-Dixie.
yeah.
I like Winn-Dixie. I'm a Winn-Dixie man. Have you ever thought to change the sign on the Winn-Dixie claw game to say, like, I don't know, Pee-wee's Playhouse or Cadillac Pat's, scary house?
I have, but I like it that it says Winn-Dixie. It's ghetto, so I just
I
think
do
it's funny.
too.
Yeah, it's
So,
pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
so I keep it. But look, see, I got Winn-Dixie claw machine, but I got the Publix slides. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I
Gotta
want
rip it.
those. I want those Publix
Yeah.
slides. Did you order them online?
They came. My buddy got them as a gift for me, so I'm sure he did.
Yeah, I
but
saw-
you can get them directly through Publix, like their website.
Yeah, I like Publix slides.
So
But I just got. Wait, sir, hang on real quick. Look, I just got this new fur coat. Just got it. A friend of mine mailed it to me as a gift, so I can't wait to go on a cruise and walk around the cruise ship wearing just that.
Your friends give you a
That's
lot
and
of
no
gifts.
shirt on.
Well,
he's a good friend to them. Like he helps them out.
When you see like wacky stuff like that, you're like, this is perfect for Pat. Like that's why it's good to have a
Like a
thing,
gimmick, yeah.
Because like if your grandma collects little tiny
Spoons from different
Hummel
cities.
cats or whatever. Like, it's kind of like, remember when Crystal used to collect
Turtles. I would get her a turtle.
Then everybody would always, because they're like, oh yeah, she liked the turtles. It makes it easy when you see
Does
something.
she no longer like the turtles?
It just
she has children now, and it's amazing what you don't like when you have children. You lose all.
He put a filter on the phone?
Oh yeah, what is that?
No, he put on a disco light.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I got those out of a claw machine too. Half the shit in my house, half the stuff in my house is from a claw machine.
So you get your furniture out of a claw machine. All right. Okay.
Okay. And so let's go back to your bedroom again.
All right.
I want to see. You got a what size bed you got?
I got a king.
Yeah, nice. You need it big enough to pump on.
I'm always questioned people that got queen size beds.
I
I'm
have
like,
a queen.
what?
Yeah.
Well, you're a small man, so that
Why?
makes sense.
Why?
Yeah.
I get the king.
Yeah. It's so small. The queen. I'm like, why?
Well, I don't sleep in it. My wife does. I sleep in my chair like an old man.
Put a blanket on his leg.
Push his glass of iced tea away from him. He'll knock it over in his sleep when he's having nightmares about war.
It helps his circulation.
Lean him back a little bit.
My bed is on the floor, though.
Okay.
It is sitting on 2 box springs on the floor, which, again, screams college kid, I guess.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well,
That's
I mean,
all right.
your whole house screams college kid.
I know. That's why it's called Tuscan Frat Boy. That's why it's got some nice things, and then everything else is, a little out there.
Yeah, but you're right. You do. It's well decorated. You have your.
It's clean.
You have your.
It's always clean.
Yeah, it's
always.
very clean. It's just crazy.
Did I just see the Michael Jordan stand-up cardboard cutout?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've had that for like 25 years, I think, and it just
it's
sits in my house full
It's
time.
in really good condition, too. Like it
is.
But obviously, it means a lot to you. You love Michael Jordan.
This is like my prized possession. Yeah, that and the Miss Pac-Man machine and the claw machine are like my prized possessions in here.
Who would think that a man that dresses like you's prized possessions would be a cardboard stand-up, and a claw machine?
Pat,
I would.
Honestly, you know what you need. Oh, is that a hoverboard from Back to the Future?
Wait a minute.
Yeah, I was Marty McFly for Halloween. I made it out of cardboard. It came out so good, though, I'd keep it around. I just was carrying it one day when I was Marty.
Mm-hmm.
What were you going to say? What do I need?
When are you ever yourself?
You need a Spuds McKenzie.
Yeah. But not a real
yeah.
one. A little person dressed like Spuds McKenzie.
Yeah. Easier to find.
Yeah, easier to find. You just need a small dog costume.
What's is that a terrier?
It's a bull terrier.
Yeah,
it's a bull terrier. Can I dress my cat up like one? I got a cat. I know, Dan, you're not the biggest fan of cats, but I got a cat.
I could do it. I'm little and I have a
black dot on his eye.
I'm little and I have a big nose like a bull terrier. I mean, I could do it.
So
and I got a garden. See my succulent garden I've been growing in the backyard too.
Nice.
Succulents.
Yeah.
That's succulents.
That's the poor man's gardener right there.
I've been asking your wife, TCL.
What?
I want one of those big giant plants that you have. What do you call those?
That's a bush, sir.
You can get one.
That's called an ass bush.
Just marry a crow and let some time go by.
It'll grow.
She'll stop.
Just water it with hate. It'll grow.
It's called a staghorn.
Staghorn. That's it. Dang.
Don't get a staghorn.
Come on.
Those are trash.
No.
God. Trashy Florida garbage plants.
They're expensive as hell, by the way. Like,
I know.
If you try to get one, they're like $500.
And I don't know why, because they look disgusting.
I just fed mine an apple the other day.
What?
Yeah, you just put
like
trash
Little
in
Shop
them.
of Horrors?
You put trash in them, and they'll just devour it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And look, here's my iguana. She's sleeping in her little thing there.
Is that your original one that you had from years ago?
Yeah.
How old do those things live?
Is it alive?
She is 18 years old. They live about 20 to 25 in captivity, pretty much.
Wow.
So she's getting up there.
She's 18.
But I built this whole cage for her like 10 years ago.
Is it? It's not too hot in the summer.
No, they like it. They want it hot. You know, they are thriving down in South Florida where it's even a touch hotter. You know, so they like it hot.
Yeah. I guess it's the cold that kills them.
What do you feed her?
They're herbivores, so they like veggies and fruits. They don't eat like anything alive.
That's
But
great.
my bearded dragons, they eat these. Look at these things. Look, they're like called horned worms.
Yuck.
Yeah. Oh, you want me to feed one? Watch, I'll do it. Let's see. Hang on. I'll put you. Try to put you right here.
Live feeding.
Okay.
This is why.
Okay. Is that artificial grass we're staring at? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
hang on. All right, let's see if I can get Prince to this one. This is my other dragon.
That looks like a turtle, sir.
Well, it's
Well, yeah, it's a turtle shell.
he identifies as a turtle.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, get it?
Oh,
rolled down his back.
You idiot!
Fell out of his mouth. You suck.
Punch it dead.
Oh my god.
Oh, he got.
No. He
It's not very good at eating.
He got a big old tongue.
Yeah.
Looks like me trying to kiss my wife. Like,
What made you like the big lizards there, Pat?
just to complete the package. I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got to complete the effect. No,
Surprised you don't have
honestly,
like a boa.
when I was a little kid, when I was a little kid, my mom bought me 2 iguanas, and they died under my watch because I didn't know what I was doing. You know what I mean? Like,
Didn't Seth have the
I've
same
always
story?
been into turtles and lizards, and then because they died under my watch, I always like had a love for them.
Did you roast them in the
And,
sun like Seth?
No, that was me. No,
Oh, that was you?
Yeah. I accidentally
Oh,
killed
that
mine.
was you? I thought it was Seth.
No, I'm sure Seth killed all those animals too.
Oh,
but-
he released his into chimneys or something, right?
yeah, something his dad.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah,
a lot of
released
Florida
it into
swamp
the
people
chim-
are just killing iguanas left and right.
Well, they're everywhere. I mean, look,
Yeah,
down in South
they're
Florida,
everywhere.
They should
they're
not be your
all
pets.
They're all trees, so they're a nuisance.
Anywhere you go and you find trees and water south of West Palm Beach, like you'll find iguanas 100% of the time. Like they're in every lake and every possible like dock in everywhere you go. They're all over the place.
So let's end with the horns on the top of your Cadillac. Where do you go? Where'd you get those horns?
Actually, those horns came across from Dallas, Texas in 1965. Another old man friend of mine gave them to me as a gift because he knew I liked
Wait a
horns
minute.
because of my caddy that I had the horns on originally. My other caddy.
Are you
Are you on
like
like
a,
sugardaddy.com with all these old men giving you gifts?
are you like a 90s eccentric?
I think I just
old
found
man
out how he's
gigolo?
acquiring everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, honestly, because I like to help people, and these like you find people that are a little older and they want things done around the house, and
Companionship.
I'm handy. You
Yeah.
know, they want me to paint a wall or move some furniture.
I'm taking care of an old lady right now, and I steal all her Oxycontin, and I abuse her. Oh, man, I abuse her.
Yeah, but about to say, you got a pretty nice house and a lot of things for the salary of a server.
Sounds
there.
like you've been, help, I've been laying here for hours, and Pat said he'd be
Do you
back.
have to like wear a Speedo while you paint their walls? Because,
No, but a lady that I did work for the house behind me, right back here. She owned this house back here. Her name was Annette, and I called her Auntie, but she called me her cabana boy because I cleaned her pool and I did all kinds of like
Yeah.
Cobwebs in there.
Yeah, my nickname was Cabana Boy, like for a long time.
I'm putting together the pieces
Yeah,
here.
you're going to need a
for sure.
lot of lube.
Yeah.
So yeah, those horns.
That engine
came
hasn't
from
been
a friend
run
of
in
mine.
25
Change
years.
the story real quick.
So the horns. Why did Texas guys put horns on the front of the car? What was that?
I don't know. Is it like did Boss Hogg from Dukes of Hazzard start the trend, or was that already a thing? And like he took like it was Boss. I got it from Boss Hogg. Like him remembering like the white Eldorado that he drove.
Yeah.
And that's why when I have this Eldorado, I wanted to put the horns on the front.
But you think they would have got it or been influenced by real life in some way?
Yeah.
TV usually doesn't just come up
You
with.
see
the
it on
things-
trucks and Cadillacs mostly.
Yeah.
I bet you it's a Texas thing, and it's big in Houston because in the rap culture in Houston, it's the horns on caddies and swangers, which is a type of rim, is real big in Houston. So it's a kind of a Houston, Texas thing. I'm
That's cool.
assuming.
Huh.
I like it.
Cool. Well,
But
Pat, thanks for showing us your house.
Great quarantine cribs, man. I mean, that was one of my favorites of
Thanks.
all time.
Where can people follow you on Instagram?
You can follow me at Cadillac Pat, one word, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat at Cadillac Pat. Find me anywhere you want on there. It's pretty easy to find. You can just type it in one word, Cadillac Pat.
Perfect. And if you're an old man that may want some companionship,
if you're an old man and if you want a cabana boy to come over and put stickers on your walls in a Speedo, and then all you have to do is give him really weird gifts.
Oh yeah. He's into it. Yeah. We're not judging.
We got your guy.
Do whatever you want.
Do your thing,
man.
I don't know how your girlfriend works into this picture, but
peace and love.
And if you're thirsty, come see me at the Brass Tap in Waterford Lakes, not the one on Mills. I work at the one in Waterford Lakes. You can't miss me. I'm at Brass Tap all the time. So
there you go.
For sure, come get a drink.
Perfect. Well, we appreciate it, Pat. It was good talking to you, man.
Thanks, guys. I'll see you guys real soon. Thanks again. I appreciate it.
Yep. All right, man. We'll talk to you soon. Later.
See ya.
That is our good buddy Cadillac Pat, live from the Pee Wee's Playhouse. Okay. That was the best one yet. Let's take a break. We'll come back and do some more corporate time right after this. Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha, our producer's here. Butler's been running around crazy all day. Let's jump into some email and some voicemail messages before we got all kinds of different stuff that will be coming up in the later hour of the show. If you would like to leave us a voicemail message, super easy to do. Download our app, totally free, and you can hit the button that says mediocre messages, and it will, almost like magic, it will shoot a message to me, an audio message like this one.
Hey guys, it's Zach from Ohio. Would you rather live the rest of your life with hiccups or live 10 more years and never have hiccups? That wasn't a fake there. I have actual hiccups. Made me think of it.
Well, obviously the rest of your life, right? You just get used to it.
I don't there's people that have chronic hiccups. Have you ever seen those people?
Yeah.
For whatever reason, and I think I've only seen one girl, and I believe she was on female talk show host. Can't remember who it was. But I will say it might have been Jenny Jones. It just seemed terrifying. Yeah. Like it just seemed like it would drive you insane.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you're like me, but there'll be times when I have something important to tell you, or I'm like it's something important to tell Andrea. And if I get the hiccups, I can't even finish my sentences.
Oh, yeah.
And it becomes so annoying that I end up trying to hold my breath. And then it becomes like this thing where I have to almost hurl my body around my house. I'm stuffing my head into a pillow. I'm screaming. I'm drinking a glass of water. I'm putting a spoon frozen upside down on the roof of my mouth.
Yeah.
Holding my nose, staying on my head. It's terrible. I hate hiccups.
It also has dawned on me that the human brain can adapt to situations fairly efficiently. For instance, everybody who talks to people say all the time, well, if I ever got paralyzed, let's say from the neck down, I wouldn't want to live. I'll kill myself or whatever. Or if I ever got paralyzed, I wouldn't want to live like that. I'll kill you hear that a lot. And then, but all the people that do get paralyzed in accidents, I'm sure there's a long period of adjustment and there's probably some depression and stuff like that. But seemingly they work it out and then they get to a point where they're at least okay with living like that, and they don't there's not a rash of people that are paralyzed or whatever that end up opting to kill yourself. If you were really out there, I know it would be hard if you were paralyzed from the neck down, but I'm sure you could pay someone to do it, or you could get there if you really, really wanted to.
So your theory would be that we would
adapt to anything,
to the hiccups.
Yeah,
certainly not as bad as being having to deal with paralysis.
Of course, but I'm saying the worst case scenario people adapt to. So I imagine you could adapt to anything and learn to live with it and be fine with it, or at least it becomes just part of your life.
Probably just depend on your mental state, right?
Also,
Tuna Daddy in the chat says the suicide rate after a spinal cord injury is pretty high.
Oh, okay. Well, this is based on no data.
This is Tom Van. He is just spouting out anything he wants.
I know what he's saying, though.
But it's not everybody, and then it's you know, and I understand after, maybe immediately after, but it seems like you can get through the period of depression and come out the other side and realize, okay, living is better than death. Death is nothing, So it's I might as well live as long as I can.
It obviously depends on your mental state. Right. Because, remember even last week or 2 weeks ago when we talked to the gentleman that was the liaison for veteran affairs with True Leave, even he said that, when he saved his buddy who was paralysis, he's like, I couldn't live that way. He does, and he's strong, but he's like, I couldn't do that.
Yeah, but I bet he would be able to if it happened to him.
Yeah.
Because that's what everybody says.
You would like to think you could.
Yeah, and I just think you adapt to it. Your brain just learns how to live with it, and you can get past it and then live with the best quality life possible for you at that time. It's like not every day is pure misery where you can never get
You don't
better.
really dwell as much, though. So, I think you and I would probably handle that situation maybe a little differently. I could see you doing it and making the best of it. I could see it really sending me into a sort of a depression spiral.
Oh no, I'm sure I'd go into depression too
bad.
for a long time. Everybody would is horrible. I'm just again, I took the worst case scenario. I'm just saying whatever you have to learn to live with.
You're just saying it is possible to adapt to it.
Yeah, it seems like people adapt to their current situation relatively easy or easier than you would think you would.
Right. Juan is saying, again in our Twitch chat room, we were talking about hiccups. He said my dad would legit choke us out if we got the hiccups.
That's crazy.
To the point of almost passing out. But why? Was he trying to help you, or was he mad that you were weak and got the hiccups?
Old Cuban real man and his ancient ways of his home remedies. He's like his Cuban
as
dad,
a cure, he said. It was as a cure.
Yeah. He's
I'm
just
gonna
like,
choke you.
Yeah. That's what my father did to me and his father did to him. And I was like,
I've never heard that one.
Bart Simpson choke you.
He's choking. Quick, choke him.
That could go wrong.
My sons get the hiccups and they're like, Daddy, turn me upside down, or they hold the breath and whatever. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Maisie gets them and she just ignores them.
No, yeah. I like that.
Doesn't say a word about it.
Yeah.
She's very much like you. I don't even think she knows she has them.
Daddy, help me.
Yeah, she's just oblivious to her body. I still think our kids are mixed up at birth. But I mean, it's the evidence is unrefutable.
She looks exactly like you, though. That's the problem.
She does look exactly like me. So let's try this one. I thought this was pretty interesting. I mean, we have a lot of listeners that world travel and meet some pretty interesting folks.
Hey, Tom and Dan, Mike from San Antonio, Texas, calling. Talked about Ron Jeremy on the Friday Free Show, and got a little bizarre story. Went to Hollywood, check out the Sunset Strip with my wife a few years back, and went to the Rainbow Bar and Grill right on Sunset for dinner. It was packed, so we decided to pull up a couple stools at the bar, and we're hanging out. We get our drinks and get our food, and we can see into the kitchen, and who walks by is that hairy, disgusting POS, Ron Jeremy. Can you imagine that? Losing your appetite instantly when that cum monster comes walking by through the kitchen. Have a great day.
Hold on, why is he a POS? I don't think Ron Jeremy's a nice guy.
I don't think he's a POS. And the whole email, and the reason, when these come through, you can send the voicemail message, but you can also type if you would like. And this guy was correcting us on something, and I thought that's what his voicemail was going to have to do with, and he didn't even mention it. He just typed it to me, and he basically said that Ron Jeremy is not Italian, that he's Jewish. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's interesting, and that makes sense. Sure, I think I've actually heard in an interview or whatever that Ron Jeremy mentioned that, but I thought he was going to have a funny anecdote about Ron Jeremy. I mean, I don't think if I saw him, I've met him once.
Why is his nickname the Hedgehog?
Because of the hair, and hedgehogs are hairy, and he's round and hairy, and hump crazy.
Yeah.
He does have some sexual assault allegations against him, so maybe he is a POS.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know enough about him to just look at somebody and go, he's a POS.
Yeah. I mean, we're making fun of him, but as far as
oh no, it's happening. It's finally happening.
God, I don't know why that keeps happening. But as far as I know,
her eyes are bleeding.
Take a sip.
Oh my God.
I'm drinking. I gotta get
dry your mouth out.
Enough of this diet soda. I can't drink it anymore.
You gotta just go alcohol at all times.
Pure water.
I know. I need pure water too. Because
Guardian water.
All right.
Butler brought you some.
That's
Guardian
what
water.
I need. Yeah. Need to be a more responsible broadcaster. I'm the.
What do you mean? I've been eating fried chicken the whole time we've been on the air today. Touching everything.
But, anyway, just because he's a porn star and, all the other things.
I don't really know that much about him. Remember a couple of weeks ago when we talked about people having regulars at their bar? We had this one.
Hey, Tom and Dan. This is a message in regards to the Monday BDM show where Tom was talking about possibly having people talk about the regulars that came into their place of business. I work at a small independent liquor store near UCF, and I have some crazy customers that come in. The first one I'm going to talk about is called Vodka Grandma. That's what I call her anyway. She calls up to my store every single fucking day to ask if we have little mini vodka shooters of a specific brand, which we've never run out of once, so I don't know why she calls us. And then when she finally gets up to the store, she doesn't even buy the amount of vodka that she originally asked for on the phone. And it's ridiculous. She's come in twice trying to return little mini shooter bottles that have teeth marks in them because she couldn't get them open, so she put them in her mouth and tried to open them, and then she tries to return them. She's done this a few times. We don't know why she does these things, but she does. So yeah, I've got a ton more customer stories. If you guys want to hear them, let me know.
Yeah, we do. Vodka Grandma. So she tries to return the tiny little airplane bottles with tooth marks on them. Now, I will say that there have been times when I've tried to open those little bottles, and they can be very, very hard for those of us that battle chronic arthritis.
Also, the reason why she's doing that is mental illness. It's just always
probably alcoholism, a little bit of that in there.
But,
if you got to have it where you're biting your shooter bottles, that's a problem.
But also, if you're calling in every day asking for a product that you obviously know is there because you go there every day.
Or maybe she checks every day just to make sure she's not making a trip where he doesn't have it. So he's saying, kind of like you do, where like, well, there'd be no reason why we wouldn't have it. But there is at least a 1% chance, and maybe she's, going to always err on the side of caution.
Or mentally ill.
It could be a little bit of that. Let's try this one about bad tattoos, and then we'll do a couple of emails.
Hey, guys. I was listening to the Best of ACT. We're talking about bad tattoos, and it got me thinking. I'm watching Survivor this year. There's like an Army veteran who's got a tramp stamp on his back. I was at the beach last weekend, and my cousin's boyfriend asked me, what's up with all these straight dudes with tramp stamps on their back? And I went walking around the beach, and sure enough, there is a portion of men who have tramp stamps, and I think I've narrowed it down to slightly older than me, which I'm 38, so I think it would be like 40 to 45. People in that age range, before tramp stamps got played out and exclusively for women, I think they were the tramp stamp trendsetters.
I don't think
know.
Sean Watson has a tramp stamp.
He does, yeah.
My buddy Alex.
Y'all know anybody with a tramp stamp?
We do, yeah. Sean Watson has a tramp
There's
stamp.
a few guys.
Alex is who I was going to bring up first. Says Unity, I believe.
Yep. UNITY. I think we
UNITY. It's a Unity.
And he's 39 years old, so your theory is pretty spot on,
accurate.
Sir.
Should I get one?
Yeah. Well,
also, that term is so outdated. Like, who cares? It's your lower back.
Yeah, I know.
Why are men not allowed to have tattoos on their lower back?
Well, they are, but just
because it became a popular.
It's a girl thing.
But that's weird to me.
Well,
the lower back is a girl thing.
It was a trend.
What's a boy thing
in the 90s?
Well, a short haircut.
Tattoo-wise, where on your body can a guy get a tattoo?
Tribal arm.
So girls with arm tattoos, that's too manly?
If they do, it's a little butchy, yeah.
Yeah. I think...
Totally.
If you want to follow
I'm not saying I feel that way. I'm just saying that's the way it's looked upon by the majority of people.
That's weird.
If you get a tattoo
you didn't know that?
on your shoulder.
You've never thought of that. Like if you saw
Not
a girl,
really.
like when I saw Pam Anderson get the barbed wire around her arm, I'm like, ew, manly. And then when I see a guy who has a tramp stamp, I'm like, ooh, girly. It's just a thing. I'm not saying it's right.
It's a dumb stereotype.
It's a really dumb stereotype.
And it comes from the popularity of that.
Nothing more than repetition by my eyes. Yeah.
In the 90s, everybody went and got the girls got the lower back tattoo, and then the guys got the stereotypical
I'm gonna get one.
Arm
I'm gonna do
tattoo.
tramp stamp. I'm gonna do BDM tramp stamp.
Why not?
I would see like it is. It'd be a funny joke, and I don't like. And I'm with Sam. Like any part of your body
it's
can
just
be.
That's just weird to associate gender to a location of where you get your tattoo.
Yeah. Haircuts have been associated with the gender, colors of things associated. Like it's funny how I don't even do that in my house around Maisie. Not even.
What about chest?
One iota.
Like what if you got the paw prints?
That's both. That paw prints, girl.
Well,
paw prints are for girls.
Okay.
Yep.
If it's
Give me any tattoo, I'll tell you it's for guys or girls.
Middle chest is a manly tattoo.
No, that's not what she said. She said paw prints on breasts. That's girls.
But okay, but middle chest, that's man.
No, I don't think so.
No.
Girls get that all the time. It's usually a heart between their breasts.
I'm thinking of more of like the chest piece.
Like a ship.
Like
like an old ship.
Like
that's a guy.
A Conor McGregor.
What about across the stomach?
Across the stomach?
That's like
man.
man.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't see many
Rib
women.
cage.
Rib cage.
Girl.
And it's got to be usually like a Bible verse or like a poignant poem or something. Give me something else. Give me another
upper
one.
back is kind of unisex, although a shoulder, upper back shoulder girl.
I'll give you a really feminine. I'll give you a really weird feminine one that I saw yesterday that I've never seen. It is feminine. It's not fair. Old man at Publix, ankle tattoo.
Yes.
Tiny Florida gator.
Aww.
On his ankle. That's feminine.
That's a lost bet.
Yeah. You think so?
think?
Yeah.
No, it looked like he was a fan.
Yeah, I mean,
He had on jean shorts.
small.
Oh, for sure, Gator fan.
Yeah, Gator fan.
Small.
Might have been my father-in-law.
Small ankle tattoo just screams of.
What about
lost
behind
a
the
bet.
ear?
Girl.
Okay.
Yeah, behind the ear.
But
girl.
guys, get it, but normally girl. Give me another one.
Collarbone.
What's that here?
Yeah.
Normally girl.
Yeah.
That's
It's
a
usually
girl thing.
lyrics.
Hands. I'd say normally guys, but that one's split now. The girls are coming up.
Yeah.
Face. I'd say both.
Yeah.
I'd say both. I used to think it was like a guy thing. It's not. I see a lot of girls with face tattoos.
And do you count permanent makeup as face tattoos?
Yeah.
Because technically it is.
Yeah, because I know guys that have
really.
permanent makeup.
I don't really count those as tattoos, though.
It is, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, technically, yes. I just, I don't think even society is gonna be like, if someone asked, "Do you have any tattoos?" and you had no tattoos, but you had tattooed like permanent makeup, I don't think you'd answer yes, right? Like if someone asked a person with permanent makeup on,
it's rude to do
that doesn't have any other tattoos, like, "Oh, you got any tattoos?" I think they'd say no, and they wouldn't include their permanent makeup as one.
I think they would.
I think that's why they call it permanent makeup instead of a tattoo, is to break the stigma and separate itself.
Yeah.
It's almost like microblading.
Right.
You know, that to me, like I still don't even know what that is.
It's yeah, I mean
that's tattooing too, isn't it?
It's but isn't it making tiny little cuts so that
Have you seen the guys that do for guys that are balding? They do it here in Orlando. There's a guy that does it. And maybe we can reach out to him and get him on the air. But he's a tattoo artist and he specializes in going through, and let's say you were losing your hair. So you'd shave your head with like you'd skin it. You'd use a razor blade. You'd bick it down, yeah. And he'd go in and he'd let you grow for like maybe a day. Then he'd go in with his tattoo gun, and with a very, very, very fine point, he would emulate your pores and the hair follicle that's about to stick through it and reshape your hairline so you bick your head and the tattoos stay, and it looks like you have a full head of hair, but you choose to bick your head so you don't look bald. So he's giving you the hairline back, but only...
So it looks like a 5 o'clock shadow, like you have a tiny...
Like you have a really, really perfectly knit, tight little shaved head.
Yeah.
I've seen it's freaking amazing. You'd never know.
Yeah.
You would never know.
Although the problem is there's no way to get rid of it. I guess you could laser it off, but
yeah, well, there'd be no need.
Yeah. Because that would just be your. Although you'd have to shave your bozo.
You just got to write it out. Yeah, you have to keep shaving.
Yeah. Because then if you grew your bozo out, it would be like, why
you should shave your head like a bozo?
Yeah. That's the only problem.
Butler.
You know what? We should get Cadillac Pat to do it for the novelty.
I don't.
Let's get Butler a head tattoo and then have him grow his hair out. But we've changed his hairline.
Like down lower.
Yeah, we'll go low, right above his eyebrow.
Just half his face, to stop at his nose.
Yeah.
I'm sure so.
His wife will love it.
Yeah. They tattooed your face.
This has gone too far.
I'm divorcing.
I brought you some real mun coasters. That'll fix it.
I'm a doctor.
I got you a cutting board you can't use.
I got you this tiny plastic. Is it really a cutting board or is it just a small piece of blue plastic?
Oh, we gotta get
we gotta
take a break.
All right, we'll be right back.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Let's jump back into some more emails. Sam, you got anything over there that people have thrown you lately that we might be able to answer?
Yes. Well, I don't know if there's questions, but there's lots of stories. I can attest that the Bug Assault is legit. It's fun as hell and it works great. I bought a Bug Assault 2.0 from Ace Hardware a few weeks ago and have been having a blast with it. I have a mini fly graveyard going on out in my garage now from where they like to congregate. If you can get up close enough, it's literally turning them into a smear. But if you keep your distance, the salt just shreds their wings and stops them from being able to fly. That sounds very violent. My only regret is not looking more into it before buying it, since I definitely would have preferred the 3.0. The main difference between the 3.0 and the 2.0 is that the 3.0 can mount a laser sight. I don't recommend using it for bees or hornets, though. It can kill them, but when I tried, I literally had to shoot the wasp 20 or 30 times before his wings finally broke. He was trapped in a window, and I had zero chance of it getting to me. We should be getting some Bug Assault
That sounds like a little, in a weird way, like the way he's using it sounds very...
Just stomp it.
Yeah.
You're like,
what do you...
you're like,
you shot a hornet 30 times?
You're also wasting salt. You're also, there is a psychotic aspect to this where you're getting a lot of enjoyment out of just torturing this bug.
Misery.
Yeah. Look, I'm not like Tom's wife where, every spider counts, but I know that she would really hate you for abusing anything that way.
I ripped his legs off individually. Like, come on, calm down.
Come on, man.
Calm down, Manson. You're freaking everybody out.
What are you doing?
Manson never killed anybody.
Yeah, that's true. He just had a lot of influence.
He would.
That makes basically Lorenzo from Bug Assault Manson.
I could tell by the swastika
I would have went with Dahmer.
Yeah, that came later, I think.
Yeah, you're right.
Sam, what do you got? What do you got next?
He's dead, right? He died.
Yeah.
Like years ago.
Did he? No, man.
It was like a couple years ago.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, I heard Tom ask for people who had called 911 due to THC to share their stories, so I figured
he loves these.
I'd share mine. I had just turned 18 and my parents had gone out of town for their anniversary.
Yes.
Being home alone, I immediately started packing a bowl after bowl of some decent quality weed. I've been smoking for at least the last year pretty much daily with no issues, so even though I was having way more than I usually would, I figured I would be fine. So after smoking multiple bowls as fast as I could, I settled into the couch to watch Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Oh, yes.
If you've never seen the movie, it opens with a loud punk rock song accompanied by some bright flashing colors. Roughly a minute into this, I became convinced that the noise of the movie was way too loud and muted it. I sat in silence for another minute or so, then shot straight up onto my feet and loudly yelled, "Whoa!" Suddenly, the only thought in my head was that I was going to die and be found by my parents surrounded by weed. In a panic, I called a close friend to try and talk me down. While I talked to them, I laid down in the fetal position on the kitchen floor because the cool tile felt comforting.
I always go for the tile, too.
At this point, my friend informed me that maybe I had bought weed laced with something harder and maybe I should call 911.
Well, that's good. No,
they always do that.
By the way, that never happens.
Yeah,
but
who's lacing weed with...
They don't want to waste it.
But
no.
then...
I'm going to take this weed and then lace it with more expensive cocaine, but then just sell it for the price of weed. That's a good drug dealer.
It never happens, but your own paranoia will grab onto your high and then take you for a ride.
You're like, well, what if this guy was just trying something?
What if he mixed up the bag?
Yeah, it's like when I tell myself, you just forgot how to breathe. And I'm like, and I sit there and I'm like, I did forget how to breathe. And I'm like, I don't know how to breathe anymore. I can't breathe. I'm not breathing. And then I breathe. I'm like, I did it once. I hope I can do it again. And that goes on for 9 hours.
So, thinking I was dying of some sort of mystery drug embedded in my weed, I called 911 and reported that I was having what felt like a heart attack.
Oh, never call 911.
Cut to an ambulance pulling up to my front door and attracting the attention of basically everyone in my neighborhood, including neighbors who knew me and my family. I was carted off in an ambulance and ended up in the local emergency room. I admitted I had...
This is terrible. This is really... But all the while, his parents are out to dinner?
Yeah.
Oh, this is bad, man.
They're out of town for their anniversary.
Real bad. Oh, you're going to ruin their... Oh, it's bad.
I had admitted that I had smoked way too much weed, and they told me I had had a panic attack. They pumped me full of some sort of sedative, and I fell asleep and don't remember much more. One last note. The hospital called my parents to let them know I had been admitted, but called before I had told them about the weed. So my parents rushed home from their anniversary plans, thinking something had gone terribly wrong. By the time they got there, everyone knew what had happened, and they just got pissed. Nearly 10 years later, they still never let me forget that I ruined their anniversary that year.
Oh man, I'd be so mad at Max and Tommy.
Well, I mean, odds are one of us, you or I, is going to have to deal with this at some point. I'm going to say it's either going to be Maisie or Max, I would imagine.
I'm gonna Tommy too is do good.
I just can't see him doing it.
I will teach my sons. I'm like, listen, if you have too much weed, you're not dying. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Never call 911. Never.
Go lie on the go lie on the tile.
I know you're gonna feel like you're having some sort of reaction, or your heart's gonna stop, or your heart is like malfunctioning, or
another one of my
you have a
favorites
brain
is
tumor.
I can't feel my heart. That's another one of my favorite ones.
Yeah,
Like you can't feel it beating?
Yeah, where I'm touching like my chest and I'm like, well, it's not going, but I'm not dead.
If I get too high, and you guys already know I'm already a paranoid person,
Oh, yeah.
I will always see someone either walk fastly, like in a doorway, or like someone standing in the corner of my eye, and I'm always like, ugh, and there's nobody there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I gotta stop.
You'll get many hallucinations,
Yeah.
especially when you eat THC. Like I'll like see like something run across the floor and be like, what? And then it'll be nothing, and I'm like, did I just hallucinate that? Like, but it won't be like a LSD hallucination.
No, that's your child, Tom. That's your child.
It'll just be like a tiny little, Dad, I'm hungry. What? Hallucinating again.
Yeah.
But the going to the hospital because you have too much weed.
We
Oh,
told
man.
Daddy
laugh.
we were hungry.
You gotta
and
pay
he-
for that ambulance bill
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Oh,
And guess
just
what?
for smoking weed.
Everybody at the hospital is making fun of
Oh,
you.
for sure. I wonder what sedative they gave him.
Probably just a little Valium or whatever.
A little vodka.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You want a vodka tonic while you wait for your parents to come back? They're gonna kill you.
Like a little like Xanax to you know.
How do you get home? He never. I have a lot more questions.
Well, his
Parents
parents
picked him
came
up,
to the hospital because they thought something was severely wrong with
Oh my
him.
god! I want to know that conversation. I want
Right.
to talk to your parents. I want to know what they said.
It's
I want to know the punishment that you got after that, or did you get one because you're older? You know.
Right.
remember
Probably just got cussed out.
remember Chapman's story about going to the emergency room in California?
No.
yeah, because
But I don't remember a lot of things.
Yeah, he went and got like edibles at one of these recreation
I do remember this.
dispensaries. I bet this happens a lot in like states that have recreation because or recreational marijuana.
Yeah.
Because a bunch of newbies that never taken
Well,
it.
and then you just consume a lot.
Yeah,
you know,
he-
you
Plus,
eat like a whole chocolate bar. or
I'm not
something.
convinced that they're all the same.
They're
'Cause
not.
I can
Tom
get a
and-
10 milligrams one place and a 10 milligrams
Yeah.
somewhere else, and one of them is way stronger than
Tom
the
and I
other.
talked about
strands,
this.
the strand that they use
Might affect
different
you
strands
differently.
and affect everybody differently. So like you could take one thing that you're like everybody will be like, hey, it does like. That's why it's good to start low, especially if you get your license here. Start low and then don't just take someone else's recommendation like, hey, this does this for me.
Right.
Because
they're like,
to-
I have to take 3.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you need to take 3.
their tolerance level is different,
Well,
and their
that's-
biology and the chemistry.
Basically,
is
what
different.
you're saying is never listen to Butler.
Yeah. Oh, Butler would be like, I had 800 milligrams.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh my
Butler's on
God.
another level.
I needed 800 milligrams just to get out of bed.
Yeah.
What?
It's always the classic case, and it's usually edibles. I've never heard it with smoking.
Oh, yeah.
because
It's easier for me with the smoking because it hits you faster.
Yes.
And you can overdo it faster, I
Yes.
feel like.
with the edibles, the reason why a lot of people freak out is because they take it. Then nothing happens over because it's a different amount
like
of
a time
time every
release,
single time.
yeah.
So usually it's about an hour to 2 hours before where you're peaking at the height of your high. So people take it and then they're like, I should have felt something. I feel nothing. And then they take
Yeah,
a double
don't do that.
dose. And then that's where when they finally get so the first one kicks in and then the second one kicks in on top of that. And then your panic attack is what causes the other symptoms, like your arms go numb. And then that's what makes you think
Yeah.
you're having a heart attack.
I also
'Cause you're like, why are my extremities numb? And it's the panic attack.
Yeah.
Anyway. then you
I
call
want to
911.
I want to know a little bit more about like the fat distribution when you eat something fatty with that because like
Dude, it is-
even
oh, man.
Monday
I was listening to Josh Wolf on the Self Helpless podcast for their 420 episode, which is what we were wanting to do as well.
we had booked and we got bumped.
Yeah, we did.
I
But
love saying that.
he was saying, and I've noticed this too, like if you take an edible with a dairy fat, i.e. like a cheese stick or something. Like it'll hit you. Fast.
Yeah, well, that's what I did. And Andrea, we didn't want to cook, and I was like, "It's my birthday week. Let's just order like a small pizza. I'll have a couple pieces of pizza, 2 pieces of cheese pizza. That's it. Because I'm still not overeating. You know, like I'm.
Yeah, but it is fatty pizza and cheese.
Exactly. And man, that cheese lit the fuse, and I laid there, and Andrea's like, "It's bath time," and I'm like, "Oh my god!" And I'm like, I was like, I had to push myself out of the bed. I'm like, yeah, and I got up, and I was like, "You can walk. You can." I'm stumbling.
Yeah, you had to talk to yourself in your head.
I was walking like a rock monster or something. I was like, it was terrible. It was so hard.
Meanwhile, if there was surveillance camera footage,
I look fine.
Normal.
Yeah, you'd just be like walking there, you'd be like, no one is out. But in your mind, you're like, no one.
You're a monster.
Someone will tell. Like, you can't even function. You're like, I'm freaking out. Like, I literally am the scaredest I've ever been. My whole body's numb. I'm freaking out.
I don't know why that's so funny.
And then, meanwhile,
because you voluntarily do it over and over again.
But then there's an element of it. If you can, so I got through it, right? The bath time, everything was great, you know, like, but everything was. We're saying that I'm reading a book, and like, because it will level off. If you, and then when it levels off, you get the best feeling in the world. You're like. But it's almost like you had to traumatize yourself to get to that really good feeling.
But then, like, once you get through, you're like, oh, it's only time will solve this. And then finally, when you go through all this stuff and it levels out, it goes back. You're like, I want to go back.
Do it again. Let's do it again.
You're like, why'd you want to go back?
Right.
No, if you're like me, I think I love my glasses in the Wayback Machine.
You're like, I want to experience that again. Why? You were scared out of your mind.
Ride the lightning.
Yeah. But you want it.
Oh, God, that's hilarious. Well, let's plug some stuff before we get out of here.
All right. Go to TomandDan.com.
Father's Day bundle.
Yeah.
Stop with the bundle.
A bunch of new stuff on TomandDan.com, including all the leggings and compression shorts and everything. Those are pre-order, male and female. So we got to pre-order those because they're too expensive to manufacture every size and then send them out. So we're once the ordering's done, we'll get them made and shipped out to you. But all the Father's Day stuff, Eric, our merchman, will ship out immediately. So you should get that fast.
Yeah.
Usually it's a couple-day turnaround. So
I'd like to give a big shout-out to our friends at Top Shelf Aquatics for keeping the fish cam up and running. If you guys join us on YouTube or live on Twitch, twitch.tv/TomandDanLive, or just search YouTube Tom and Dan Live, you'll get glimpses of fish cam. It's really cool. So when you join our broadcast and you watch our show, when we take breaks or when we go away, you get to look at a tropical fish tank.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Also,
and we've been playing... replays of a corporate time during the day, so you get almost a huge, almost like a 6-hour to an 8-hour block of content.
Yeah. If you want your own fish tank too, we talked to Top Shelf and they said they'll
do you right.
They'll give you a discount, a Tom and Dan discount.
I signed up for their club. So now I get all these text messages about all the stuff they have. Do they have sales every day?
Really?
Like this coral's on sale, or oh, you want this type of surgeon fish is on sale, or these crabs or these anemones are on sale, and that you can join it. Just go to just search Google Top Shelf Aquatics Orlando.
Yeah,
it's the only one on there, and I think you're going to be surprised at how big this place is.
Yeah, they're right there in Winter Park, down the street from us.
Like, they're one of, if not the largest producer of, tank coral I've ever seen or in the world. So, yeah, check them out.
Yep.
Anything else?
That's it.
See you tomorrow.